Why do the sirens come every 33 minutes? Why isn't it 34, 35?
Callie.
What?
Shut up.
Man, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Salty and the Nuts. Although today it's really more salty and the nut, since we are missing one of the nuts. Jason is on vacation. He's in the process of driving from New Brunswick to Florida to visit family. And so we wish him safe travels. And so it's just the two of us for today. And this is our first post freeing the tortoise episode. So, hopefully the tortoise is indeed freed. Is the tortoise doing okay?
Yeah.
You sure? You don't sound too enthusiastic there, Danny. You just do.
Yeah, man. I'm just having a day. Look at all this cat hair. You see all this cat hair on me? This is ridiculous.
That's why you get a dog. See, Look, Chihuahuas. First of all, Chihuahuas handy. You can carry them anywhere. Stick them in a tool belt. Very handy. And you can even use them as pliers. They're great universal tools, and they hardly shed. So, in fact, I don't think I've found hair from T'Pring anywhere. So, far superior to cats in every way. That's just facts. Laying them on you, people. Facts today. Nothing but facts. So today we're going to talk about what many consider the best episode of the series. And I don't know. We've seen a few episodes now together. I have a difficult time calling any episode the best. By the way, you're leaning way down. All we can see is your head.
Sorry. So we've talked about this because I think we're on we've watched 6 episodes now. I think of the series.
Yeah.
And every episode, except for that last one, it's kind of funny. Every episode has been like my favorite episode. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. It's so good, But Thomas Potts says cats are better. Thomas, normally I would agree with you. I've had a rough day, so I've been cuddling with my spirit creature, my little Goku, and this
I thought
mf'er,
Bill Clinton
he
was your spirit animal.
he got he got like I'm covered in cat hair. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but we were talking. I think even like Kadish had said, like this was the. I don't like the idea that this is the best episode. I don't want to start out with a bang and then go out on a whimper. I want it to be good. And
Right.
so far, I've enjoyed. I've been enjoying it, everything. What was my beef with the last episode? There was something going on. Do you remember? It was
Let me see. The last episode we watched
this episode
was
6.
Litness. I was the one that was kind of their version
Okay.
of Drumhead.
Yeah, yeah. That's what. Okay, so that was because it was right after, like it was kind of like a breather episode. You know what I mean? Compared to like what it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not an action episode.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
still good.
And so that it wasn't that it was a bad episode. It was just that it was not an action episode.
Yes. No. Yeah.
No,
I
and in
haven't.
fact, it was one
I
of the
haven't
best
seen a bad
character
episode.
episodes for Adama. You know, it was like it showed you. If I was a major grin type YouTuber, I would do a Adama versus Picard with the Litness episode, comparing that to Drumhead, and basically showing Adama kicked Picard's butt. Because Picard will give you this wonderful inspirational speech, and Adama's just like "frack you" and ends it. But we'll get to that in a couple of weeks when we talk about Litness.
Yeah.
And I may do a video about that when we get to that one, because that's just too cool. But 33 is I do like the fact that when they start the series proper, they're getting out of the miniseries. This is the first episode of the regular series, and they really wanted to hook people by getting them into one that establishes the stakes and shows them what the action in their world is going to be like. That this is not a world where, like in the original Battlestar Galactica, and I know you haven't watched it, but in the original Battlestar Galactica, one of the problems with the action, while the action was really good, you never felt like the heroes were in all that much danger, because they were so much better than the Cylons. Like the Cylons were completely inept at being pilots and shots and everything compared to the humans. The humans just, tore them up. But in this, the Cylons just rip them to shreds. Right? You do not want to, because the Cylons just show up and they launch 500 Raiders and you've got 40 Vipers. It's like, what are you going to do? And like when you see when they jump away and all these missiles are coming in and they just barely miss, and so we start out, here we got the fleet here, and everybody's like stressing out because the 33
That was a very Clone Wars looking ship that you just showed a second ago.
Colonial One.
Yeah, that one. It's very.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this was made long before Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
So you could say Clone Wars is very Battlestar Galactica looking ship. So everybody's stressed out over the fact that we're almost at 33.
Sorry, that was a yawn.
That's all right. When the 33 is it? When the 33 minutes does come up, it's that's when they land. Come on. Let's see if I can. Let me hide it for a second. I want to get to when I was talking about the fact that they just barely dodged the missiles. And we were talking, right here. So here's Galactica, and you can see the missiles coming in. And Joe Biden, thank you so much. President Biden tips $1. And the president says dogs are great. Before mine had to go to my home in Delaware after it kept biting Secret Service agents, I used to use its tail to help me get out of the bath. Hail Karoga, number 22. Thank you, Mr. President. And I'm glad that your dog was able to help you get out of the bathtub. Speaking of President Biden, how are you recovering after he kicked your butt?
Ha ha ha.
Wow.
I love that video though. It's so good.
For those of you that don't know, President Biden did in fact kick Danny's butt. And if you don't know about it, watch the video that we released yesterday. So you see right here the Galactica getting ready to jump as the missiles and the raiders are coming in, and it jumps away just as the missiles would hit.
So that's some space folding stuff. That's not like a warp drive. I mean, just vanishes.
Correct. That's space fold.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Of the various types of faster than light travel, this is the fastest in that it's instantaneous, but it also requires that you make calculations as to exactly where you're going, and you have to and it requires in a sense it requires line of sight, because you need to know exactly where you're going, or else you'll materialize inside a star or inside a planet or whatever.
That's no bueno. Hey, LDG is in the house. So I don't know if it was us that inspired him. So I
see, he's been watching the show.
Yeah, I dropped in on the Underground. I think it was yesterday, and he was like in season 3, and I had to be like, "Whoa, stop! Like turn!" And he turned it off for me and stuff. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, but yeah, he's burning through it super quick.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. You can, and you know how good these episodes are. You could just keep watching them back to back to back to back if you're not watching it with a group like we do.
Yeah.
If you're just sitting around with nothing to do, I mean, you could watch those all day long, and it wouldn't be hard to get through an entire season in a couple of days.
So what's this guy talking about in the chat? Dude from Bonanza whose acting was cheesier than Shatner on maple syrup. Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, that's Lauren Green was Commander Adama in the original, and he was also in the television show Bonanza. The Western television show Bonanza. And I don't know that he was cheesier than William Shatner, but he was definitely cheese. So, and Birds mentions Warp 10 is faster than FTL. Yeah, but Warp 10 is theoretically impossible, which makes it stupid. LD.
We just don't need to pause it a million times to talk. Well, I don't know if you subscribe to the Patreon or not, but if you don't, you should. Those are the best parts. Is when we pause and talk.
But that's also, but don't you ever like to hang out with, I know you don't have friends, LDG, but pretend for a minute you had friends. What
did you just say? LDG doesn't have friends. Come on, be nice.
Okay, what I mean was you don't have friends, and so the half the fun of it is, me and Danny and Jason are all very different people, but we all get along very well. We're good friends, and so we put on the show, and we're just hanging out watching the show. And then when something happens that we want to talk about, we just pause it and talk about it. And then sometimes one of us just wants to talk about something completely random, and so we pause the show and talk about that, right? So,
by one of us, I'm pretty sure he means me, but that's okay.
Well, no, sometimes it's almost always you, but at the same time, it's still the that is fun, and the idea of this rewatch, though, it's a rewatch for me and Jason, a watch for you. It's friends getting together reacting to a show. And so, and if we didn't pause the show to talk, then there wouldn't be enough reaction and we want we want Danny to be able to see the whole show. So that's why we pause it, because if we didn't pause it, then Danny would miss big chunks of the show when we were talking.
There's even been a couple times where, like, not in a rude way, not in an intentionally rude way, I'm like, guys, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something happening here.
Yeah.
And yes, LD, you can talk in between episodes, but guess what? Nobody wants to watch the three of us just sitting there quietly watching a show.
Yeah.
And that I certainly couldn't put anything like that on YouTube. And that would be just begging for a copyright strike. Gorilla's going to go mow the lawn. Have fun, Gorilla. If you're still here when you're done, come back and
have fun.
Yeah. And no, Martin, Q finger snap is not warp 10, because Q's finger snap takes a few, like when Q sent the Enterprise over to system J25, it actually took the Enterprise several seconds to get to J25. It was not instantaneous. And warp 10 is infinite speed, which would be instantaneous. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's in the bathroom, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
Bird says spore drive is slower. It still takes a person stamets to drive. Well, okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Bird. I know he was talking about various enterprises today, but I'm not
So
sure.
I have a feeling Bird is a part of LDG's watch party crew, because
I'm thinking we should bring Bird on just to have a third person. What do you think? Do you think I should send him the link?
Hey, if he wants, it is. Jason's presence is definitely missed. So
let's see. Bird, you want to come on and explain what you mean? And then let's see if I can. I have to load up Skype so I can send it to you.
It's not bad, right? I got most of it.
Yeah.
Tell you what, man, this cat, Jesus.
Can Bird do a Jason impression? No, because Bird is incapable of being rational or reasonable in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, but yeah, so with the 33, I mean, to sum up, the thing about 33, it's going to be hard to do the frame by frame on 33, be almost impossible anyway, because the show is the plot of 33 is very simple. The Cylons attack every 33 minutes, and they're like, crap, what do we do? And then we find out one ship has been tracked, and they come up with the impossible situation of, do they blow up their own ship to save the fleet? And of course, Lee blows up the ship, and Lee is forever traumatized by that because he just killed 1,300 people.
Yeah, no, see, and that
better
comes
than
up like, or go ahead.
Everyone. Yeah. Better them than everyone.
That's true. You sounded like Joe Biden for a second. It freaked
It's
me
the
out.
easy needs of the many situation.
You never see
sure.
Bird and Joe Biden in the same place at the same time.
This is true. That's a good point. I did want to say though, to what we're discussing here is, this comes up in at least one future episode, if not a couple. Like Lee is trauma. Like this was some.
Oh, it's going to come up a few times.
Yeah, this was something that's like clearly has wrecked him. You know what I mean?
And ABJ, the third person on the today is our special guest, Bird O'Prey 5. Because Jason is on vacation.
Jason, he's on vacation.
That is the worst Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, that actually wasn't Arnold. That was my dead friend Jason Marshall. But like anyway, if you want me to do a Arnold, I can do an Arnold. This is more Arnold. It's like this. You fool! Get to the chopper. That's more Arnold. I was doing
it's a little better.
Yeah.
So Bird, what were you trying to argue in the chat?
As to the spore drive, We were just talking about what was fastest FTL
Okay,
drive.
why you got to bring up Discovery, man? Like I
Well,
was about
no,
to.
it just like in all honesty, the Battlestar Galactica FTL is probably the fastest FTL drive known in sci-fi. They can cover ground virtually instantaneously compared to warp.
Once you do the calculation.
Even right, or even Spore Drive still has, although it appears instant. Remember, Stamets is actually flying the ship, and he has to see where he
Stamets.
wants to go.
Right.
That takes some time.
You know,
He has
I
to
would.
be-
You know what?
He has to be physically, and the ship has to spin around and do its little trick. Like the Galactica just disappeared.
Yeah, just
well,
poof.
their
Like
their
like
engines are
fart in the wind.
charging.
Does I haven't watched the entire last season and some of the one previous. Are they still using that thing in Discovery?
Oh yeah,
'Cause that's-
Yeah,
yeah.
they found a secondary person besides Stamets.
I
but
just think it's
still
funny.
needs a
It's like
person.
this is supposed to be a prequel to everything, and they have new technology that's like ridiculous.
well, but now it's a sequel because they moved the show jumped to the future. They went through a time tunnel and now they're in the 32nd
So
century.
Stan Lee just asked a question that's breaking my brain. Do you see that?
Yeah. Okay, so does Star Wars have different speeds of hyperspace, or is there just hyperspace? Good question, Stan.
I don't know.
Yes and no. Hyperspace is a place, not a speed. So you travel in hyperspace at whatever speed your ship is capable of going. So, like, that's why, like, when Han Solo was talking about how fast the Millennium Falcon is, he says it can go 0.5 beyond light speed, but it goes into hyperspace and goes 0.5 beyond light speed. So that's talking about how fast it is.
Yeah.
But so there's speed, and then hyperspace is the place. And for whatever reason, once you're in what you can only go faster than light in hyperspace. And so that's why they commonly refer to light speed and hyperspace synonymously. Ludicrous speed is not the fastest because ludicrous speed is not instantaneous.
They've
Martin,
gone plaid.
Yeah, the only if you look at like the big transport ships in Dune, they're instantaneous, so they would be similar to the Galactica. But you have to understand that any ship that takes time to get from point A to point B is not as fast as the Galactica. But the interesting thing is Battlestar Galactica from the original series is ridiculously slow. Because in the original series, which Danny has not seen, so no spoilers, please, for stories of the original series. But in the original series, they make comments of trying to push the engines to maximum just to get the ship to get up to light speed. So, there is no faster than light travel in the original Galactica, even though they're traversing the universe to get to Earth.
Is LD talking about my mom used to watch? Is that the show with the fat kid from Stand By Me, Sliders? Is that what he's talking about there?
I just think you never hear about that show. I think it's a show about burgers.
A fat kid? No, there was that guy.
No, there was the
fat guy was like
no. He's not
a
He's
scientist.
no, he was fat when he was a kid.
He reminded me of
in-
the opera singer
He was
Pavarotti or something.
yeah. It was Will Wheaton. Like it was Stand
Will
By Me, right?
Wheaton,
Yeah, Will Wheaton. was in
Wesley
it.
Crusher.
That's
Yeah, that was
Wesley
Stan-
Crusher.
You're
I
saying
know.
Will Wheaton is the fat kid?
No,
Well, Wheaton's a skinny kid.
Will Wheaton, like the kid Will Wheaton was in the movie with the kid that was a fat kid, but now he's not fat. He's actually a pretty dashing looking man now. I forget his name, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
The guy Lord of the Flies, who got killed on the island, where all the boys crash land on an island.
Yes, Stan Lee. He know what's his name. You know who I'm talking about.
I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
Damn it. I'll have to look it up. But he is married to. Thank you, O'Connell. That guy. Yes.
Oh, Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell. Yeah.
Chunk from Goonies, says Tim.
Nah, it wasn't Chunk from Goonies.
See, I've never seen Goonies, so I don't know.
You've never seen Goonies?
No, I've never seen Goonies.
Oh my God.
Man. Jesus, right?
I know, it's horrible.
Why are you here?
All right, I'll leave. You can run the show.
Go watch Goonies and come back in an hour and 45 minutes.
All right, I'll see you in an hour and 45 minutes.
All right.
What's Goonies streaming on?
Oh, hell if
Doesn't
I know.
matter.
It does matter. I can't very well
Go
watch
find it and pay for it.
I'm not going to pay for it. I don't have
Well,
money.
then
for
do a
Super
week
chat
free
me the money,
trial.
then, Bird.
You're gonna get a free trial. Just you can afford the free
No,
trial.
Okay,
can't
you can watch it on Tubi for free with commercials.
I don't want commercials.
You can watch it on HBO Max
Okay, I do have
without
HBO.
commercials. If you got HBO Max, it's on HBO Max. But if he's leaving to watch Goonies, I'm gonna go watch the back of my eyelids because I've had
No. You have to stay here with Bird.
All right.
Okay, I can cover the show for an hour and 45 minutes.
Let's see.
Just make sure you send in the super chats to Kuroga.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, short round was in Goonies. That's right. Yeah. So where are we at? Like, I get a little lost without any clips or footage because, you know, we're 6 episodes.
Oh,
in,
what are you?
The first.
Did
talking
you
about
guys
33.
finish the first two?
We're talking about the episode 33. The first
Oh, every 33
Very fr-
minutes the Cylons
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
So yeah, how long do you think you could actually live with that happening every 33 minutes? Because if I recall, it was happening for days and days.
Yeah.
5 days.
Yeah. It was 5 days, and they had to keep jumping, right, Mike?
Yeah,
Is that right?
people need to
Every
sleep,
33 minutes, they had to keep jumping.
Yeah.
and the Raptors needed to go out. I didn't find that very believable.
Enjoy church, Mother. Thanks for stopping by. Call me later. We need to talk. And how do they know? Stanley asks. We have no idea.
The Goonies, 1 hour 53 minutes.
Damn, I didn't realize it
Band
was that
of
long.
young boys find a treasure map and embark on a magical adventure.
I get the feeling like you don't really want to talk about Star Galactica.
Well, no, you told me to go watch the Goonies.
I did.
So did you not mean it?
Dude,
Oh, it's a
my
Steven
internet-
Spielberg film.
My internet is
No,
crap.
I actually
What is
do
going
believe
on?
it. Wait, did you say Goonies is crap?
No, I said my internet is crap.
You know, I think he said Goonies is crap.
Well, son, I
See?
need you to get off.
He's getting off.
My son's internet as well. I know I am. Hey, buddy. Whoa. Okay. Calm your tits. So, yeah. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, so Goonies is a Spielberg film. So, and it's Spielberg when he was at his prime. So it could be good. So I will definitely. I got it now queued up on HBO Max. So I will check it out. Are you happy, Bird?
I am.
It's been a while since I've watched Goonies, but it's a fun flick, you know.
You know what I watched last night? was the Chris Pine Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, yeah, the Honor Among Thieves. I saw that. That was good.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
liked
thought it
it.
was
Did
crap.
you like it?
No, I thought
Oh,
it
you
was
did?
crap.
Oh well.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it was
No,
look.
I
It
thought
was.
I like. I liked him in it. It was funny. He's always like he's narrating the story, and then
It
it's just like,
had it
oh, yeah,
had fun moments in it. I'm not going to say that the movie didn't have its enjoyability, but I mean, it felt schlocky. It didn't. The visual effects were
I don't remember the name of
really
the guy they kept
bad.
were hoping was going to be in the whatever they're sentencing. He's like, I really want to wait for so and so to get here. I really think he'd appreciate the part I'm talking like in the beginning, yeah. And then at the end when they jump, like they break out, they're like, but we were going to approve. We were approving your parole. It's like you idiots.
The
You
problem.
did such a good job.
See, the problem with the movie was also, I get what some people think is the strength of the movie, and that is that the movie was based on an actual game of D&D. Like, if you look at that movie, that is, if for anybody that's played D&D, that's a D&D adventure. I mean, you had a D&D party as far as and you had NPCs, and you had it was a by the numbers D&D adventure, except that the comedy level was turned up a bit. And Dork Knight, your camera died. Are you there?
I thought he was going for a smoke break.
No, then he has a round picture like you and me. That's the NVIDIA logo. That means that his camera crashed. You there, Danny?
Let's talk about Battlestar Galactica before he gets back.
Yeah, we can talk about Battlestar Galactica. I'm thinking Salty never played D&D. What are you talking about, Tim? That was such a D&D. I mean, look, you had the if you look at the characters, I mean, except they were such, and yeah, there he dropped out. So hopefully it's his internet connection is crap. He's using a cell phone not a cell phone, but he's using a cellular modem for his internet connection. Horrible idea. Don't do it. I mean, no disrespect to T-Mobile, because I wouldn't, even though I worked for Verizon, I wouldn't recommend it for Verizon or any other cellular network. We're just not quite there for wireless home internet unless you have no hardwire solution, which I guess where they live, they don't. And yes, Stanley, T-Maybe, which is what we used to call it when I was working at Verizon, is T-Maybe. Anyway, but if you look at the adventure now, granted, I didn't play a bard. I generally didn't play a barbarian. I didn't generally play a sorcerer or any of that, but I would play a paladin, and their paladin was an NPC, which kind of sucked. But the paladin was a very typical NPC. If you look at the paladin, had all the answers, knew exactly what to do, and guided the party back on track. When the party was doing the wrong thing, stupid things would happen, and then the party would get pushed back onto the main course. When the party was doing the right thing, then good things would happen. And when they failed their die rolls, their spells would fail, or their perception checks would fail, and all that. I mean, it was absolutely the typical D&D adventure stuff. And that was, I mean, that part of it I thought was, he says his computer just restarted unexpectedly.
Probably a Windows update.
Mm-hmm. But so as a D&D player, I enjoyed that. But the problem is that as a movie fan, I thought it was a very poorly constructed film. Does that make sense, Bird?
To be honest, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so
Did
I
you
have
see
no
Did
idea.
you see the movie?
No.
Okay.
Here's Danny.
Yeah, I
Back.
see.
Hey, you guys there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
So
dude,
your
that was
computer,
weird.
yeah,
My computer just rebooted. Like, it was
Yeah.
like, okay. So sorry about that.
that's okay. We were just talking about the D&D movie and Battlestar Galactica and all that stuff. And we pretty much decided that you were wrong about everything.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to that, being told that I'm wrong.
Yeah. Joe Biden's ready to go into a cage match now with you.
You know, I think I could take him. I know I've had a heart attack, but he's like 90, so I think I got a good
He
chance.
took you last time, though. I mean, he beat the crap out of you in Scranton.
Whatever.
I mean, I know he had home.
Allegedly.
Watch my video.
Allegedly. Anyway.
Look, would Morgan Freeman lie?
That was a funny video. You had a bunch of AI impersonations in that video.
Yeah. I have to say, because that was all done with my voice, and so I was pretty impressed on how well it turned my voice into Hillary Clinton.
The Hillary Clinton voice was the least impressive of all of them.
It sounded like a shrill old woman, though. I mean, you say what you want. It didn't sound like a male voice.
No, it didn't. But it also, I don't know.
I thought it sounded like Hillary.
I didn't think it did, but
it did. I don't know. What did you think, Bird? Or did you bother with watching it?
Bird?
And you fall asleep, Bird?
Bird.
I'm sorry. What did I didn't
I was asking if you saw my video that I posted yesterday.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh, well, take a couple minutes and watch it real quick, and tell me what you think of the guest.
Well, it's more than a couple of minutes. It's like 11 minutes.
Yeah,
I would say it's 10 minutes 44 seconds.
Something like that. Yeah,
I looked at it.
Yeah, but it's worth it. It's a well.
It was funny. It is funny.
I'll watch it on 1.5.
You think it's just us talking about the episode, and then it goes into some weird directions. So we'll get Bird's live reaction here. And Stanley's like, you think Bird watches Salty's videos? Yeah, I know. He doesn't watch my videos.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not too mad at my computer for rebooting on me now because my internet seems to be doing better, huh?
Yeah, well, maybe that's why I rebooted.
You know what's cool about
Tim says, "Don't you have that voice already? You mean the voice of a shrill old woman? You're a little funny, Tim."
You know, my second ex-wife, that was her voice, man. Jesus, to a T. It's like nails on
a shrill. Why'd you marry her then?
Well, because she was awesome in the sack. That's why.
You know what? I'm sorry, but you could be. That's like I don't understand, like Kanye and anybody else. Somebody who marries Kim Kardashian. Look, Kim Kardashian, beautiful, beautiful woman, but that voice. Oh my God, that voice. No. I mean, because she's like, I'm Kim Kardashian. I mean. Look, I'm sorry. I know this sounds incredibly sexist and shallow, but I do not want to hear that voice in bed.
First of all, it doesn't sound bad or shallow or whatever you said. And second of all,
it does.
Not really. And second of all, I guess I'm lucky because I don't think I've ever actually heard this female speak. Because it's not right. I mean, I'm familiar with the name and the booty. But I don't think I'm familiar with the voice. So
you've never heard Kim Kardashian speak?
I don't think so. Yeah,
oh, dude, look her up right now. You guys,
no, she's one of those. What is it they say? Look, don't listen, or something. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway,
look, don't listen. I don't think that's a saying. I think that's just what you do.
Yeah, well, which doesn't work out very well, boys. Okay. Okay. You okay? You about to have?
Yeah. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat.
I love you
Had
too.
recent surgery in my throat.
Yeah, which you yeah, recovered
Still healing
quite,
from that.
yeah, which still trips me out, man.
What?
Like that, you basically had your throat slit and you're fine now.
Can you see it right there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So yeah, nifty little scar.
yeah.
So I can say, yeah, you should see the other guy.
So for those of you who didn't notice, I got my hair cut a couple days ago, and shit, man, all this white from my beard seems to be making its way up into my head now. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
It's called aging.
Yeah, it sucks. You wouldn't hear it when her mouth was full. And you say I'm bad. He got great viewers.
Martin, you owe me a super chat for that one, Martin.
Yeah. I don't know what you're laughing about, but if Danny wants to see more Katie Sackhoff, you should certainly watch Longmire,
Watch what?
which is on Netflix.
What's it called?
Longmire.
Longmire?
Yeah, Longmire.
Oh, okay.
She
Never
plays
heard
a sheriff's deputy in Wyoming or something.
She's always like. Did she ever play a damsel in distress, or is she just always like a?
She's not in
badass?
distress. She's
Well,
a
I know
badass.
that's my point. She's always a badass. It seems like she was Bo-Katan,
He's Katie
She's-
Sackhoff.
Starbuck. It's like but I mean,
I mean, it's like
You know,
Arnold
it's-
Schwarzenegger ever going to play a man in distress? No.
Yeah, that'd be
Is
like
Stallone
Arnold
gonna
Schwarzenegger
be-
playing a gay, the gay
Habanero.
boyfriend in a rom-com.
oh, you remember?
you know?
Did you ever see that
You know,
movie? You ever see the movie with the two of them where they're fighting and Schwarzenegger's like, "Ha ha! You punch like a vegetarian."
Yeah.
It's like when they're in jail or something, and they're
Oh yeah, escape plan.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, could you see if they cast him to be the gay boyfriend in a rom-com? So Arnold Schwarzenegger going, "Oh, I am just so disappointed in you." That's never going to be the Arnold Schwarzenegger role.
Yeah, no, never, no. I
I'm
can't
quite
even-
impressed.
I was trying.
with
I was trying to wrap my
I'm sorry.
brain around.
With my lisp.
Well,
No,
no,
you-
trying to do an impersonation of Schwarzenegger as gay, and I can't even. My brain can't even.
No, you
fathom
can't do
that.
it. It's
I'm
it's
like,
not even possible. You can't, yeah. It's not possible to do the Schwarzenegger accent gay. Get to the chopper.
I was
didn't
gonna
work.
say, I
Didn't
was
work.
quite impressed with the Biden and
Oh yeah.
celebrity voices you had.
Yeah.
I was
like
not
that?
expecting those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I that's why I was wondering what you would think. Did you watch it all the way to the end?
No, I'm only halfway through. I paused to
Okay.
tell them about Longmire.
Okay.
I'll
yeah.
go back. You guys talk again. But I got to mute you guys to hear it because
Right.
the volume was too loud. So I'll be back.
Okay.
So my phone gave me a notification, and it says Nicolas Cage dead. ... And I'm like, oh my god, did Nicolas Cage die? And I click on it, and no, it's a DLC for a video game. He's apparently dead by daylight. And I was like, but I thought that was funny because it
Nicolas
Clickbaiting.
Cage probably created that.
So I know batleths are not toys, but I do have one up on my wall, which I hope to use in one day in a battle to the death that results in either mine or my enemies.
Why?
It'd be
Why?
a
Wait.
good death.
Why?
Be a good day to die.
What,
Like, why not?
wait,
Who doesn't want to die like that? Come on.
I don't want to die like that.
Are you kidding? I used to make this joke. Like, do you want to die in a nursing home getting spoon fed, or do you want to die getting blown by 3 hookers while you're doing cocaine off a stripper's ass, doing 95 on the freeway, and then you explode?
That's not dying by a bat wolf by your enemy. That's not the same thing.
No, that would be. No, it would be a good death. That'd be a solid death. I would do that. Because I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna. I'll probably die in my sleep. Sadly, I'd rather go out like a boss, like a Klingon.
Well, if
We're
we're
drinking
like,
a
well,
beer. What was that?
it's Mountain Dew.
Is that the what is
Mountain
that
Dew Summer Breeze.
the hell is that?
It's just a new Mountain
There's
Dew.
so many kinds of Mountain Dew now. It's so weird. I don't know if they have it where you're at.
Here, if I
They
bring it up,
they just
it's
they just
blue.
released.
Well, you can't really see.
You can't see because of the blur. They just released a
But yeah.
Mountain Dew alcoholic beverage here in Vegas.
Yeah, I've tried the hard Mountain Dew.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's
But-
called hard Mountain Dew. It's all right. You know,
I can't even like talk about wrapping my brain around things. That's another thing I can't like. First of all, I haven't had a Mountain Dew in well over a decade.
Right.
Well over a decade.
You know, it's funny. You know, Tim's trying to troll by saying I'm a closet supporter of Miller and Bud Light, but the funny thing, I've never in my life purchased either of those, and because there's only I don't drink beer.
Yeah, I mean,
Because here's the thing, Tim, I don't like the taste of piss. And so if you want to go, you go right ahead,
So you know Vader, right? Matt Vader from the
no, I've never heard of the guy.
So I was hanging out a couple nights ago, Monday night, with this dude, and so he said something so funny, I lost my shit, and I was like, that's the tweet of the night. So I tweeted it. This is what I tweeted. It's since been taken down because it violated Twitter's rules against hateful conduct, which is stupid. But this is the tweet. Bro next to me just called Bud Light trainee fluid, and I lost my shit laughing. And
Wow.
Twitter did the whole took it down thing. Can you see it? No, hold up.
No, but I'm not
Damn
surprised.
it. Yeah, they took it down. I was like,
You see,
I was supposed to
you
have
don't
free speech with
understand.
Elon Musk. I thought it was funny. I didn't. It wasn't even my joke. It was somebody else's. I thought it was funny.
Just because you're quoting someone, if you're quoting someone in bad taste, doesn't mean it's not going to be taken down.
Yeah.
Like if you start quoting Adolf Hitler, and and you just start putting up videos and say, "I hate the Jews" in quotation marks, and
Hey, look, hey guys,
hey, that's what Adolf Hitler says.
Hey, I
That's
promise.
still going to
promise-
violate terms of service.
Mike, I promised my mother I would stop throwing her under the bus about that Jew hating thing, but you insist on bringing it up.
No,
why
no,
did you-
I didn't mention your mom. I mentioned Adolf Hitler, which I don't even like talking about him on my channel.
Hey, can we get back to this episode 33? I don't even think we've got.
Yeah, speaking of Adolf Hitler, back on Battlestar Galactica, we have... Wow.
Oh my god. The fact that I am sober right now, you people watching have no idea what a huge miracle that is, because I should be
I'm sorry, throat.
sorry.
Acting up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Galactica jumps away when the missiles come in.
That's where we were. Yeah, just poof.
Yeah, which is a badass moment, and that's something that they do several times throughout the series, because that's what I like. It's like Galactica is not in the business of taking on the Cylons because they're hopelessly outgunned.
You know what else happened several times throughout the series?
What?
Dork Knight frees the tortoise.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, we can't hear you, Danny. Can't hear you at all.
I'm sorry. I said I can do whatever I want now. I'm a freeman.
Danny. Danny.
Until my son comes in here and
I
yells
think it's
at me. I
time
actually
to
just
call
thought about that.
CC.
No, it's not. Definitely not. I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah, private chat that to him. Obviously,
Yeah.
he didn't get the memo.
But anyway,
What does this mean? The stream just got ratioed by the YouTube AI. What did we do wrong now?
Well,
Tim Christ. He was in Tim, you were in the LD's thing, right? When I was there Monday? I think so.
Probably. He's there quite often.
Is he? Okay. Yeah.
He's a regular.
I recognize the bastardization of the Buddy Christ on his icon or whatever.
So they jump away, and then they reset the clock to 33 minutes, and meanwhile, Baltar's making out with 6.
Oh my! Oh, could you have left it on that credits. A little bit longer? Did you really? No. Come on.
No.
Does anyone else think that 6 is like the ugliest woman they've ever seen?
Dude, she's
it's funny you should say that.
What is wrong with you, dude?
No, I don't think she's the ugliest woman, but I don't think she's particularly beautiful, despite what
she's the ugliest pretty woman.
She's very, very sultry. She's very good at portraying, like the Trisha Heffler is very good at taking direction, at acting sexy. It's kind of like
I wonder how she is in. I'd love to meet her in real life.
I've seen interviews with her. She doesn't act anything like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would be so weird to me, if in real life she was kind of like a nerdy goofball. Because it's so polar opposite.
I can't believe anybody even partially agreed with me. I was trolling.
Oh, okay. Well, good job with that.
No, but I don't think that she's particularly. I don't think she's super.
Of course not. You wouldn't.
Well, no, I just don't. I think she's. I don't think she's ugly by any stretch.
Well, wait a minute. Martin says that you don't. You only say that because she's not a lady. Do you have a thing for lady boys? What? Is it Korea or no Taiwan? Where
no, that's Bird.
Thailand.
Bird does.
Thailand.
Are you putting down all of a country?
No, I'm just reading the chat, bro. Whoa, don't crucify me.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Martin was saying that. Yeah, Bird says that's because she's not a lady boy, because Bird likes lady boys.
That's not true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is true, actually. It goes. So I assume you so you mentioned the Free the Tortoise. Did you watch it all the way through the credits, Bird?
I did. Of course I watched it. # Free the Tortoise was the last thing.
Yes. You know what's funny is every time I poop now, I think about that. That's
well, it's good, because I was thinking about putting that at the end of every video from now on. Read the tortoise. Because that was the best thing I think Jason's ever said in his life. But
I miss him already. Hey, can we call him? Just we do a little bit.
Could, but he's on vacation with his wife. You really want to drive?
No, he's driving. He's driving.
He's not driving today. He's taking today off from driving. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Christians are not polytheistic for believing in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I don't know why that took a sidebar conversation.
Well,
flat out no.
That was from a.
That was during 33 that you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just because Jews are monotheists because they only believe in God.
That's also never a great.
But what?
It's never a great way to start a story out with the Jews.
Oh, the Jews.
Yeah, the Jews. As soon as he said the Jews, it sounds like you're like, oh, those filthy Jews.
No, not at all. No, dude, I love William Shatner, and Leonard Nimoy was great.
Yeah, no, but go back and watch the video, because the way you say it, it's like, so, the Jews.
Hey, I am my mother's son. I apologize, okay?
I know, but you gotta break
her bigotry. It trickled. I don't have her bigotry. It just trickled down. So I have
mother hates.
So if you said so,
with Bird, where have you been? We've talked about this so many times.
Yeah, but think about the difference here. Just close your eyes for a second, Danny, and listen. Okay, here's option 1. So Jewish people believe in one God, right? Okay. So that's option 1, right? Yeah, so option 2. All right. So the Jews.
What are we going to do about them?
Oh, God. You're point taken, sir.
All right, so
solution.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
see, LDG. I don't mean to be like that, guys. Okay, like I need to get help. Okay, apparently, being raised by my mother, I don't realize I do that. I don't mean it in a bad way. I love the Jews or Jewish people or however I'm supposed to say. How can I say it? Damn it!
you
God,
sound like Donald Trump. I love the Jews.
I love all people, mostly. You know.
I love the good ones, not the bad ones.
Many, I assume, are good people.
Oh God! Now you're comparing me to Trump, guys. Stop. All right, let's back to Battlestar Galactica 33.
But anyway, yeah. So
No, Stan. Apparently, you weren't around for this, so I will rehash it since I know my mother is in church and not watching. My last girlfriend, well, I guess technically now 2 girlfriends ago, I dated a Jewish girl. Her last name was Levine, and my mother just gave me grief, like to no end. Like, you know, and I can't remember. I guess there's like different types of Jews, and she was like, "Is she one of the good ones?" I was like, "What does that even mean, mother? Like, what is that? What's it called? Like is it? Do you know? Like, is it
Hasidic Jew?
Hasidic Jew? What's the difference? Can somebody explain that to me, or is that a straight?
Well, there's Orthodox.
How
and
much
Hasidic
they, their specific beliefs.
yeah.
Like,
The problem,
like they're very religious. They won't even touch their wives as a whole in the sheet through
and
which
I had to keep
procreate.
explaining to my mother. She's like, and this is another thing I think. There's not a Christian race, right? But there's the Jewish religion and a Jewish race. The girl I was dating at the time wasn't a religious Jew. She just was a Jew. You know what I mean? Like her ethnicity or race or whatever. And
I mean, I think that's debatable.
Is it? I don't know. I mean,
Well, I've never seen an official government form that has race for Jewish.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of this, so I was doing one of these things the other day. So Hispanics are a subsection of Caucasians now? Is that always been a thing?
No, you're Caucasian, non-Hispanic.
You could be.
No,
you could
I know
be,
I am, but
there's Hispanic and Caucasian are not mutually exclusive.
Right, because remember, Hispanic means descended from Spain, which is in Europe.
Europe, okay.
And
hey,
so you could be
everybody who
Hispanic
came
and be
here
European.
for Battlestar Galactica, it's like
Yeah, now you're getting
Jewish
all the racism right through.
Jewish fun time with a couple old fat white dudes.
Welcome to Jewish Fun Time with Danny.
I
Oh
took Jewish
God!
studies in college. Okay.
Well, that's I never noticed that before. If you look behind them right here, look, that's an old Amiga editing keyboard right there.
That looks like a Commodore 64. What are you talking about? But yeah,
That's an Amiga editing keyboard right there. That's what you would use on a video toaster, and I think that's probably an Easter egg.
Hey, if there is anybody in driving distance, I could use a hug. I'll throw that out there. I could use a hug.
Stop.
Hey, you got a super chat.
Eric, thank you so much for saving my ass. Hello there. Hope you're well, Salty Trekker. Well, I'm doing better now. Thank you for the $2.
Oh,
Please.
Wow. So you only hope Salty's doing well. All right, man. F you. I see how it is. All right.
Yeah. Please give me money. It's the
I think Adama is Hispanic because he plays a role in Mayans, which is
well, I mean,
it was almost Edward James. Almost,
Edward James almost is
he's
Latino.
something. Yeah, he's definitely. I don't know what kind of Latino he is, but he's something.
Yeah.
You know? No, Eclectic Hawk Toaster is not racist. That's what people affectionately refer to the Cylons. Is it though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
the Cylons are a race.
Is Data a toaster? No.
Actually, yes. Yes,
You think so?
absolutely. Because in Measure of a
I think
Man,
so.
what's her name calls him a toaster. She calls him a toaster. Do you remember that? In court, she says he's a toaster.
I don't believe they would
Jesus,
even
man,
still
I was-
have toasters.
Yeah,
in
but
the
that's
year
what they call him.
2400.
So,
So let's see. Edward James Olmos.
Did she?
American actor,
Is that
director.
real? You got to pull that up if that's real. I don't remember that,
Oh,
which is why
Yeah, she said Data is a toaster.
that had to be a Battlestar reference then. don't
No,
you think?
because that was before Battlestar. Remember, he worked on Deep Space Nine before Battlestar Galactica, and Deep Space Nine was after he worked on
So
TNG.
again, I know I haven't watched the original '70s, so they weren't called toasters back then.
No,
That
they were not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See,
So I think that's probably where they got it from. Let's see. So Olmos was raised in East LA, and he is the son of a Mexican immigrant.
born in East LA.
Yeah, so Olmos was literally born in East LA, and he's the son of a Mexican immigrant. So there you go.
So he's
he's
literally a Cheech Marin song. That's cool. Right on.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what kind of Latino he is, he's Mexican. But anyway, I think he's great as Obama. Man, he is like,
Dude, no, I like this is his. I'll be honest
what
with
his
you.
opinion is.
I'm only
what's that, what's
10.
that, Bird?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut off.
No,
No, what'd
what'd
you
you
say,
say?
Bird? I apologize.
I just wanted to say I wonder what his opinion was on
Who's?
the wall.
Oh,
James Bond.
okay, I got you. The wall, the one that Trump was building, I guess.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
if
he
you believe some
probably
people,
thought-
he did build.
He was probably like, frack that wall.
So, oh my god, oh my gosh, I tell you, man. What this is like? I'm 10 episodes deep, including the miniseries with you, and in my opinion, this is his best work I've ever seen. You know.
Oh,
and
I think
you
it
know,
absolutely is.
Yeah,
It
really,
is
yeah.
great work, and I hope you guys both go on to watch For All Mankind, which is the next big thing he wrote.
That's
still
on.
going
That's an Apple
Apple Plus.
Plus. Yeah, yeah. That's a
Which
a
I do have
sci-fi
Apple
show,
TV,
right?
so I
I
might
don't.
do
I
that.
don't because I'm an Android.
Yeah, but I
guy,
do.
if you
That's
can-
what's important, because anything we do,
Yeah.
I have to have legit access to.
I know, because you are such a man of integrity. Guys, do you realize this fool, or not fool? I'm sorry. He who calls a man a fool is a fool. I apologize. This exemplary human.
You can
being,
call me a
this
fool if I'm being foolish, but I'm not. I
Mr.
don't think
Michael Crawford. Well, no, he's like on one of your videos. It might be the one you were just having Birdwatch. You put like a link to like your Amazon wish list for people to buy physical media for us to stream, to review a streaming show. And I don't know why, but I thought that was so funny. I was just like, why do they need to buy a physical copy if we're gonna
because
stream it and talk?
Well, it's ideal if we own a physical copy, because then then you can make us, and you can't argue that you don't own it. If you only own streaming rights, they can argue that you don't actually own a copy.
Fair enough, because you're actually technically, and I learned this
You
from
don't
the Salty
own it.
Nerds.
You only
you're
own the
leasing
right.
it. You're
Yeah,
leasing it. You're like
Right.
that's what the Salty
But,
Nerds
like,
told me.
Yeah, with Battlestar Galactica, I own it.
Look at that.
You know, so I own the entire series.
The only thing. So I used to be a Disney file, and I had them all. And I recently sold most of my physical media, and I'd done this big post on oh gosh, so this was almost a year ago. This was before I deleted my Facebook, which I have a new Facebook now, so it's a different Facebook. But I was like, hey, I'm getting rid of all my physical media. Hit me up if you're interested. And a lot of people did, and I sold a lot of stuff to friends and stuff. But I kept all my Star Trek. So I have next gen Blu-ray, have them all. I got all the movies, Blu-rays. Those I'll always keep. But having like a bookshelf, a bookshelf's worth of Blu-ray It was just too much for me. I was just like, man, I got all these streaming services. And then after I sold him, and this is why it came up, Alex at the freaking Salty Nerd, he's like, well, you don't really own you got the digital copies, but you don't really own them. They can take them down at any time. And he's like, if you go into the terms of service, and he's like explaining all this to me, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
but it's a digital copy. I don't own it. I'm like, can you download it? Well, no, it's on. Oh, there you go. And I was like, oh, wow. It's like, yeah, man, it's like leasing a Tesla. It's not really yours. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. And Tim, yes, I do. It does. That box set does include. It has Razor in the plan, but I do also have Blood and Chrome.
Okay, and you said we are going to watch those. Are they?
Yeah, those
after the 4 seasons. Or are they in between?
Razor, I think we're going to watch in between season 3 and 4, if I remember correctly, because that's when it takes place.
Okay,
and then the plan we can skip because it sucks. And Blood and Chrome we'll watch after we're done with all. I
still love that. I didn't know the plan was the name of something. And I said,
So Daddy was like, we kept telling him don't look for spoilers, and he texted me saying, so what did you say? Like,
I have to look it up. I have it saved still, but it was like basically it was. I asked you if that was the plan, like something like.
Yeah, it's like, or what are we going to do with the plan or something?
Yeah, and then you were like, "Damn it! I told you not to look stuff up," and I'm like, "What are you?" I was so confused. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. And no, Tim, I do not have Caprica because Caprica is hot garbage.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me. So I guess we're not watching that.
Yeah, Caprica absolutely sucked. Eclectic Hawk thought the plan was awesome. Well, maybe we'll watch the plan. Maybe it's better than I remember because I remember the plan being garbage. But
is Trisha Helfer in it? That's the only question I have.
Yes, she is. So you would enjoy.
I'll watch it then. That's fine.
Yeah. I know you like anything with her in it,
dude. And I've never. I cannot thank you and Jace enough. She was never on my radar until you guys put her there, and I'm like. Why have I not been watching everything this female has been in? Oh my God, she's gorgeous.
Well, that's because she hasn't been in much.
My desktop background now is Six from Battlestar and her little.
You have your desktop background set there.
She's smoking hot.
No wonder what happened. All right, so moving on. But looking at the shot, one of the things I really like about. This is a great shot to exemplify some of the stuff I like. They show paper.
Well, not just that, but notice how all the paper has got your corners cut, but the binders don't. Like you see the black binder right there to the dude's right, the corner. Why isn't the corner cut on that? And then if you look at the book in front of the monitor on the far left of the screen, no, far left in front of the monitor.
Here?
I don't know, but like it's like no, that's the right, far left, other side. That thing. Those corners aren't cut either.
Yeah, it looks like. I think what happened was they just didn't think about it. At least with this setup, they were like, "Oh well, just throw some stuff on the screen."
Yeah.
Because later on, we start to see like just crazy amounts of cut corners. But in this shot, they just threw a bunch of stuff out there.
ABJ says he, she, they, them, whatever, I don't know, rates the plan 7 out of 10. So I think you might be misremembering.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'll take that.
Lord Thoth, all hail Lord Thoth. It's great to see you as well, sir. Oh my God!
Right. We don't need to.
Oh, God damn it!
There you go. Yeah. Look at 6 for a minute for you. Whatever. Anyway, so meanwhile, we also have Hilo is stuck on Caprica, being hunted down by Cylons.
This is the dude I thought was dead, and
right.
is about.
And this is our first time seeing him after the miniseries.
After we thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And he hasn't. Gosh.
And
this is new to me. Usually I review stuff right after I watch it, and this is.
I'm surprised you didn't watch it like this week to get ready for
I
this.
should have. Does Boomer appear to the fake Boomer or whichever?
I think fake Boomer appears to him in this episode.
Okay, all right, yeah.
But this is, this was all
Lord Thoth. That makes me happy. I really wish you would give me the privileges or permission so I could throw comments on the screen like you and Jason can.
Well,
but he says,
then you'd probably do horrible things with that permission.
No, I wouldn't. Come on.
I don't trust you.
It's not just Jason. I can do it too. Thomas, maybe they're all dead. Yeah, just like in Lost.
Wow. So wait a minute, Mike. Does everybody but me on this show have permissions?
There's only two people that have permission. And that's Bert and Jason. So, Bert and Jason are the only two people that do. It has nothing to do with
what is this? Well, Thomas agrees with you. He says Caprica sucks, but he says they went all dead and lost. What is that?
Lost. Do you ever remember the TV show Lost?
No. I actually purposely did not watch Lost.
Oh, you're a smart man then.
That's what I've heard.
That not on purpose. I was working. I worked.
No, in fact, I'm a huge Deftones fan, and one of they actually named us in their. They are apparently huge fans of Lost, and they named one of their songs, "This Place Is Death," which I guess is an episode title of one of the Lost episodes. And I was thinking about getting into it, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, "Look, man, this is what he said to me. He's like, what if I told you you could have like the best sex of your life, but you'd never climax? Would it be worth it?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "That's Lost." I was like, "Okay." So apparently it's got a terrible ending. I don't know. I mean, that's what I've.
Yes, a terrible ending that they lied to fans and said specifically wasn't the ending.
No. Well, actors, they're professional liars. That's what they do for a living. And actually, think about it.
These weren't actors. These were
they
producers.
They play pretend for a living.
Yeah, but it wasn't the actors answering the questions. It was the producers and directors and shit.
Hey, I'm going to grab another soda. Not that we're really talking about the episode anyway. I'll be right back.
What if we were?
If we were, then I'd still say, "Hey, hold up a second. I got to get a soda." So I'll be right back.
I understand the ending, Thomas.
Are you talking about the ending of Lost, or are we talking about the ending
Lost?
Okay.
Both this and Lost, to be honest. But Lost is the one that is the disappointment. Lost is the one they lied about. As far as I know, nobody lied.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I've never watched Lost, so I don't know jack about it, except that some people are on an airplane, they crash on an island, and they're stuck there. It's basically a serious version of Gilligan's Island. And at the end, we find out they're in purgatory. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So why is that so horrible?
Because from the very beginning, people are like, "They're dead, aren't they? They're dead."
Are you still talking about
they
Lost?
assured us they were not.
Oh, okay.
Is this Lost you're talking about?
Danny?
Yeah?
Because I'm sick of your bitching, check your email.
Okay.
And it wasn't technically purgatory. I get that. I'm saying it because it's easier. And
Aww.
it doesn't
just
make
warmed
a
the cockles
difference.
of my heart, Mike. Thank you, buddy. I will
The
accept
cockles?
that.
What's a cockle?
Yeah, you just warmed the
Yes,
cockles
they
of my
were,
heart.
Thomas.
Right on. I think I
I'll
have
tell
to
you,
refresh this.
I've never watched Lost, even though I know the answer, the big spoiler, but maybe we'll watch it one of these times. Somebody will have to buy me the box set of Lost.
I mean, based off of everything I've heard, I think I'm gonna never watch Lost, and I think I'm happy.
Well, you'll watch it if somebody buys me the box set.
Be a cold day in hell before I watch Lost.
See, this shit like that's why I like Bird.
That's why I'd want to have Bird on our watch parties.
Like, in all honesty, I would not do it.
You should join it. No, for the Battlestar every Saturday morning.
I'd show up at your house, Bird, with a projector and just like put it up on your ceiling above your bed and just play it.
I forgot to tweet this out and do all my social media stuff. That's why we only have 16 people watching us. I am so sorry. I've had a day. I get a pass for today.
No, you never get a pass.
We're still not even halfway through this episode, so
yeah, that's true. But so Hilo, this whole section of Hilo was written in after the fact because fans wanted him in the show. He originally was not, his whole contract was just for the miniseries. He was not going to be in the series, and his character was written off as dead. But
they didn't make it like, okay, so to me it wasn't
they didn't kill him on screen.
Yeah,
but
but
Ronald D. Moore was like, yeah, we just figured his character is dead. And then because the fans are like, what happened to Hilo? What happened to Hilo? They're like, okay, all right, we got to write something in. And so, but which is good because as you'll see, Hilo becomes a very important character, especially with this other boomer. The other boomer becomes a very important character too, and they were actually kind of developed after the fact.
The one that he's the one he's banging, right? But by the time where we're at, the
one he bangs on the planet, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That
they bang on the planet is very important.
Okay.
And
so I shared this link, and the thumbnail's not the one I sent you, but it's cool. Still looks cool. But it reminded me because you're calling this Salty in the Nuts, which technically this is the first episode of Salty in the Nuts, and we're missing the biggest nut of them all, Jason, the Canuck, or whatever. You guys still haven't given me, like, I wanted to have the new artwork done, and you guys haven't even given me Jason literally emailed me a DuckDuckGo search link. I'm like, what the hell? What am I supposed to do with this? Like, no, that's not how this works. You send me a reference.
You're the artist.
I draw it. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
You're the artist, dude. And Arabic, thank you so much with a $2 virtual hug for Dan.
Super chat. Thank you, Arabic. I wish
more virtual hugs for Danny will make him feel good. But you know what really make him feel good is $100 virtual hugs for Danny.
No, that'll make Danny feel really good. That'll make you feel good. I don't get any of this.
That'll make both of us feel good.
You know what'll make me feel good? Join the Patreon. Put the link in there. We still got to get a URL.
It's the link's in the description. We got to get the URL. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. Jason did send me a thing. So remember we were talking about doing the one thing.
So what was his idea? What was his? Yeah.
So his idea was, I'll be the judge of this.com.
I'm guessing the judge of that.com was taken.
Yeah. So that's the so I'll be the judge of this.com is available. But yeah, we're trying to figure out. So guys, and we'll talk about this in detail tomorrow, actually. So we'll save it for tomorrow because we're not talking about an episode tomorrow.
We're not. I thought we were. What are we doing? I thought we were.
No, tomorrow we're just hanging out. So you and I are gonna talk about.
Tomorrow's Thursday. Friday night's the hangout session.
Normally, yes, but this week because Jason's on vacation, we're just doing one episode this week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so then next week, even though he's still going to be on vacation, hopefully I'll be able to get enough work front loaded so that we can do 2 episodes next week. Because remember, for each episode, I have to do 4 videos or 2 videos. I have to do the musical thing with the chopped up edited musical intro video, and I have to do the short version of our watch party.
All I know is don't do like you did last week and we got a copyright strike or claim or something. So our video last week, folks, you can't watch it.
Well, we'll see if this one gets copyright struck. I don't think it will be, and the reason I think it got copyright struck is because we played a couple of clips, but we're not playing any clips today. But yeah, see, like Stan Lee says, you are the creative. You are the artist. You are the person.
That. I need creative direction.
We don't send you drawings.
I don't need a drawing. I need you to say, "Hey, dude, here's a reference photo. Draw that." But instead, you guys sent me a link to a search result that had like 100 things.
Photos. That's the whole
LDG
point.
gave me the link
reference photos
to a new AI that probably we could just tell it what we want.
I think he sent that to me.
Out of it completely.
We ought to invite LD on here. That dude's cool.
No, we're not doing AI art for our imagery. No.
Oh, no. First of all, no, because you have me and I need to pimp my art. In fact, please go to mixtees.com/dorkknightlv if you want to buy amazing t-shirt designs such as this one here.
Yeah, which he still hasn't made a t-shirt for us, but you know.
Well, that's because okay, hold up. That's because we have this new thing you want me to do for the salty and the nuts. So I can't just throw us in Battlestar Galactica uniforms on a muck time background. And that's what I'm bitching about right now, folks, is they're supposed to send me a reference for a background that we can use. And like, because at first you guys were like, oh, it's too busy. It's too, like, there's too much. Instead of the hangar, but you guys never sent me a picture of the hangar. So, you know.
Well,
but and you know what's great is I love my son. He's going to be 17 on Friday, by the way. I've been really having a lot of fun working, like collaborating with him. Like we worked on this, not the one that you have up now, but the revision with my kid drew that, the one that you didn't like with the
yeah. I just have the 2 of us on this one because Jason's not here. But yeah. So anyway, So Dan Martin says Danny needs to stop bitching. Yeah, I know, Thomas. I need to figure out how to get rid of that stupid merch store that pops up by default, because that's not nobody buys that stuff anyway. We're gonna have better merch once Danny decides to actually design.
No,
something.
I've already talked to the guys over at Mixed Tees. They're good. They say I can.
But did you talk to the one guy about the thing?
Did, and I got good news for you. We'll talk about it off the air. I forget. Thank you for. Okay. I did, but I forgot.
Okay.
Because he hit me up to guest on his show tomorrow, but I was like, oh, I do the show with Salty Trekker. But then he got Mr. Reagan to do it anyway. So I was like, well, hey, man, you traded up. So you know who Mr. Reagan is, right?
No, but we'll continue. Anyway.
That's fine.
So meanwhile, back on Galactica, we got Ty, who is drunk, and Adama. He's not drunk. I'm just kidding. And Adama, who's still Mexican. And
see, this is what confuses me. All right, so he's got the black eye here. So we
no, I think that's just the lighting. I don't think he has a black eye. I'd pit play, but I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Yeah, okay.
It's,
and Stanley, I use all Adobe. I use the Adobe. It does, yeah. See, yeah, he's got the black eye.
Like he still has the bruise.
Yeah, I use the Adobe Creative Suite.
Yeah,
I actually used to use because actually Coral used to be called Jask back in the day. And that was my first one. Was Jask Paint Shop Pro is what I used to use.
Paint Shop Pro. That's what I used. I used some Paint Shop Pro for DOS.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that's how old it is. Yeah. But then Coral bought it out and it became Coral Draw. And then for whatever reason, I think I just switched to
Corel
Adobe.
Draw was a separate program.
Was it? I thought that was the.
They made it part of their suite,
Is that
but
what they did?
it was always distinct.
Oh, okay.
I still run PaintShop Pro. Now that somebody else.
They don't
owns
even
it.
make it anymore. How
No,
do you?
they make it. They update it like once every year.
Really?
I was up to PaintShop Pro 2023, and
Oh,
they just
wow.
they upgrade it every year.
Yeah, when I
It's got some AI tools now.
oh, dude,
Everything's got AI tools.
dude, no, it does. So I use I'm a WordPress guy, and I use the Astra theme framework for all the sites I make. And the last update they did has like links for use AI for this, use AI for that. And I'm like, what the hell? And I haven't done it yet because I don't even want to open that can of worms, but it's getting into everything, man.
I will tell you, there is a certain AI app that I've signed up to be in the beta test for. That if it works the way that they say it's going to work, then I would be for that one. And it's just basically it's not really they call everything AI now, but it's not really.
Everybody who's witnessed Mike here, Mr. Salty Trekker, shit on AI. How do you think he did those voices and if you haven't seen the most recent video, it's freaking hilarious. It's even better than the 20-second clip he did of Joe Biden threatening me. It was because he's got Joe Biden, he's got Bill Clinton, he's got Barack Obama, he's got Hillary Clinton. You've got so many different.
Don't forget George W. Bush.
Yeah, W.
He likes them space planes. He likes to zoom around in them. So
MySpace, is that still a thing, Thomas? I don't know.
Well, only for Bird of Prey 5.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. No, zoom. All right. So, but this program I signed up for, it will take a recording that you do. And so, like, let's say that I record myself doing a audio recording, like I'm saying, "Hey guys, how you doing? This is Michael J. Crawford, blah blah blah," and then it'll take that same recording and then do mocap on me, and then it'll basically put a animated figure in there.
So when I send you the info for the thing that we were talking about from the guy for you to use, there's a new thing, at least new to me, called Character Animator, and my son and I have.
But can it do something like that?
Well, so my son and I were just starting to play with it, but you can take your 2D drawings and you can, it basically, I don't know how to explain it.
I know what you're talking about because I played with the early versions of that. Remember, I did have the early versions. I had the same software suite that you have, just not the same version that you have. I had the previous version.
Well, I didn't even know. I knew about Animate, but I never knew about this Character Animator. Is the name of the
It was.
program.
I can't remember what they called it before, but where you could put pins on things.
Yeah. And you can. It basically takes your 2D drawing and animates it for you.
Right.
Which is dope.
And then you can set up like a skeleton structure within it if you want to.
Yeah. And we were watching a tutorial, and you can even. We haven't done it yet, so I don't know exactly how it works. But what we were watching, it looks like you can do the motion capture, like you can record, have the computer record you to do the motion capture crap, and it'll put that on your character.
Well, the main thing I'm looking, I mean, like, just imagine what I'm thinking about for future videos as far as where we're going with our watch.
Hey, guys, Mom's back. No more talking about the Jews.
Yeah, the Jews. The Jews. That's how you say it. Anyway, the way that think about what the future of what I want to do with some of these videos as far as our watch throughs is, imagine if we're doing some more advanced stuff with like that with Joe Biden and George Bush and those guys. So if we could create caricatures of them for those scenes.
So
along with that voice AI.
I drew a really
because I get the paid. I'm using the cheap free version of the voice AI, but there's a paid version that's a little bit cleaner of sound and stuff.
You're gonna have to send me because that voice AI is impressive, and the only part that bothered me, for me anyway, the only time I could tell it was AI was when he says Scranton, because to me it just sounds weird.
Some words just don't translate well for whatever reason.
Yeah, but
sometimes you have to record your thing like 17 times to get it to sound right. Like there are times where he'll go like, "So, Dork Knight, how you?" and it's like, what the heck happened? Because it just couldn't understand the words you were saying.
Yeah.
But the and I was trying to, and I'm still trying to find a good James Earl Jones, because that voice I use for the CNN is supposed to be their James Earl Jones, and it just sounds so fuzzy.
I don't think you're gonna because he got paid like bank by Disney for them to own the rights to his
but people
AI voice.
But there's so much of his voice out there. That doesn't mean people can't create a good AI version of his voice.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and so. But what I'd like to do is, like, if we can create caricatures, and of course, if you can create good caricatures of these guys to use to have them pop up and say, "Now, Danny, you moron,"
I did a really good. I was honored and fortunate enough to speak at a Stan Lee memorial at a conference. Vegas, like that took place.
You're breaking up
after you died. Like,
did you click on something, or just like
I did click on something. I apologize. No, I was trying to find the yeah.
His AI is failing.
Yeah, no, but I drew a really cool Stan Lee. I'll have to show to you sometime. I was really proud of that one. So,
all right. So anyway, but that's just something I'd like to get do more of. And Martin, I don't know if you saw the video that I put out, but I thought that some people enjoyed it, and if we do more of that and people enjoy it, that's the goal of the channel, is to make stuff that people enjoy, right? And so and I will tell you, there's going to be a. Let me just say, I know we're going down some weird rabbit holes tonight, but we're coming up on an election year, and. What's that?
Dork Knight calls me Sleepy Joe. Well, Dork Knight, let me tell you, I'm going to drag your sorry ass back to Scranton and put you to sleep, motherfucker.
So,
you heard the Scranton thing I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah,
that was the only word that sounded off, but yeah, it's okay.
But so we're coming up on an election year, and there's going to be a lot of people just angry and hateful and all that, and if we could just have some fun with it, and just be lighthearted and not, like
Americans be lighthearted during a presidential election.
Look, I know. Whoa, and his internet died on him. That's what he gets for suggesting that. So, what do you think, Bird?
I mean, it's hopeful that people.
Did Joe Biden do that? Fun. Did I get like the Secret Service?
I don't know what happened. That's hilarious. I at first I thought you did it yourself because
no, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Is because like what happened? I was just making jokes here. People supposed to. What's sad is nowadays at a freaking stand-up act, these comedians feel the need to remind people, hey, these are just jokes. Because how sensitive oh wow, I just noticed I used to have that same shirt, Secret Wars. Right on. I just noticed that's what hey, look at that. You got a super tip.
Yes, indeed. Anonymous, thank you so much. Says AI voice is a perfect tool to get some YouTubers to say embarrassing or stupid things, just like Bird of Prey sometimes can make an audio of him admitting to cheating on games, or LDG can say how much he loves WandaVision. Well, but
I don't get that reference.
Bird does admit that he cheats on video games, and LDG does love WandaVision. That's the difference.
So
LDG
am I?
used to be a big fan of WandaVision until it
Is there
ended.
what's wrong? I actually, I was on the losing end of this debate when the Salty Nerds and I were talking about the show, but I actually loved WandaVision. In fact, I one of these days I might get that. I'm not kidding. That
Yeah,
phrase
you might want to never go back
tattooed above.
again. You might
Might
want to
what?
stay out of the underground.
Why?
Yeah. Don't mention that to LDG.
Why?
Oh, he hates WandaVision.
Oh,
He
really?
he loved
What
it.
He
What
went
is-
to the hospital.
What
He
is
went to
grief
the
if not
hospital
love
over
persevering? That is a
WandaVision.
beautiful, beautiful quote, and I might get that tattooed over my heart one day. I really love that. Like, but I'm a crybaby.
Tell that to
sap.
LDG. Go to the underground tonight and tell that to LDG, and then watch him just lose it.
I think he actually hated WandaVision more than the last Matrix movie. At least the last Matrix movie, he got a refund.
Yeah. Sure.
The oh
Did you
Oh,
click
yeah,
on
what was that
something, Danny?
called?
Because you're dying again.
no I don't
There
think
you
so. What was the name of the Matrix movie? Just came out like a couple years ago. What was that
Matrix.
called?
Matrix 4,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
but
the Matrix.
it was like not Reloaded.
Reloaded.
No, Reloaded was
No,
the second. Matrix. I don't know. Matrix.
Electric
Something.
Boogaloo.
I don't know. Anyway, that was a terrible movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just was.
LDG says there is no other Matrix.
It's like when I talk about Indiana Jones. There's only 3 of them. What's his fourth one?
Yeah.
Matrix Revolutions. That's what it is, I think.
Revolutions. Oh,
No, is that it?
LDG says Matrix refunded.
No, it's that, no, that's the third one, isn't it? Let's see. Now I got to look it up. Resurrections. Thank you, LD.
Resurrections.
Yeah, and yeah, it was horrible.
I like his title better. The Matrix refunded.
Yeah. I was kind of mad because I was going to watch Tenet last night, but then they took it off of HBO Max, so I can't watch it now.
Tenet?
Yeah,
The Christopher Nolan time travel weird movie?
yeah. I wanted
that
to
movie
see.
I had to watch that movie twice to kind of wrap my brain around it because I'm an idiot, I guess. But
It's just going to become Max.
which is so stupid. Why would you get rid of the HBO from your name? Like HBO's like my whole life. HBO's been
HBO was
synonymous
the
with-
original premium service,
Yeah. You know?
and yeah, I don't know.
Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, da. You guys remember that? That was the
Yes,
old jingle.
everybody
Da,
knows the
da,
HBO
da,
thing.
da.
But yeah, I don't get that. But anyway, but what I was saying though, Danny, is that so next year is going to, or yeah, this next year, this next 18 months or so is going to be, a lot of people are going to get really angry, really hateful. And I think if we can poke fun at all this and do it in a good natured way, and hopefully, if we can just get a couple of people to just realize the stupidity of it. And by the way, you're muted.
I can do this now. Did you see? I did
Yeah,
the thing.
see?
You're awesome. Thank you.
I think that would be worth it.
Ooh, I remember. I guess the statute of limitations has probably ran out since my mom's here. I used to sneak and watch Dream On when I was a kid because of the boobies, and I had to be like, 8 or 9. I don't know. You guys know the show he's talking about,
There's
Dream
some
On?
statute of limitations on admitting that you watch boobies in front of your mom.
You don't think so? No?
She's
Okay.
still going to bitch slap you the next time she sees you for that.
Hey, I would welcome it because if she's able to smack me, that means she's in my presence, and I miss my mom. I really want to see her. It's been.
You're
12
not going to miss her
years.
when you feel that the burning sensation of her hand on your face, and the skin ripping off of your face.
Nah. If it's from my mom, it's okay. I miss my mom.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cry. I need to.
Oh, you're gonna cry, all right. You're gonna cry a lot. Um,
No, I sent my mom this really heartfelt text. I've been going through some shit, y'all. I'm not going to get into it, but
yeah, you know, it's
I really do.
Just stop.
No, I'm just going to say I really, really, really do miss my mother. I'd like to see her soon, you know. And hey, Mom, clean out Brianna's old bedroom. Maybe, you know. Maybe? No? Okay.
She should take him to church. He needs to confess a lot. I don't think that there's enough. Yeah, if he
Baptists don't do that.
Stuff,
Baptists don't do the confession thing. That's a Catholic.
Well, which is good, because if he did, then his pastor would commit suicide immediately after. That's just like, yeah, there was no, yeah, and I mean, and then he could like go to his local Catholic church, and the priest would just like, they'd be like, "Oh, dude, I'm giving up on boys. I'm just going to go kill myself. This is it. I can't take it."
Stanley, I moved out
you know,
when I was 15. What? He's talking about my mom, dude.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I moved out when I was 15, so it's not really moving back home. But if she were to, there's no way she'd ever let me. But if she would, I'd move. I'd live with my mom in a heartbeat. You know, I really would.
He's a mama's boy.
Yeah. Does that make me a lesser of a man? I don't know. I just, you know.
Yes.
Oh well. So, Battlestar Galactica 33. Where were we?
Yeah. So let me ask you this: can you see the 33 that's down at the bottom?
Yeah.
Can you add it to the stream? I'm curious. There you go. I was so you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking, because I didn't know if you could do that. Just making sure. All right. So
now, thanks to you, big guy.
Yeah. Don't abuse your power, or you will lose it.
Kristen says she can barely hear me. My mic's all the way up, so if you can adjust my volume, I don't know.
No, you don't need to hear him. He's kind of a jerk. Thomas, yes, I think that would be true.
You know, I was an altar boy for a little bit, and I always I took offense to the fact I was never molested. I thought I was a cute kid. Yes, my internet does suck. Thank you, Kristen. That's
yeah. He has tea, maybe.
It used to be good. I used to brag about it, and then, you know.
Yeah, that's the problem. You start bragging about it.
Yeah. And then it was like,
and it's so funny, because as soon as you started bragging about it, you started having massive problems.
I know, man. I should have just kept my mouth shut.
Yeah. But plus, you know, I love the fact that me and Jason were able to just completely put you in your place, though. When you were like trying to show off numbers.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful moment. He's like, "Yeah, check this out. I can download at 50 meg." I'm like, "Ooh, that's pretty impressive. Let me show you what 800 looks like." And then Jason's like, "Yeah, hold my beer. Here's what 2000 looks like." You know,
the Kristen in the chat.
Yeah.
Are you my friend Kristen? Because I'm confused, because your last initial is different than I thought.
He doesn't have friends.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, you have one more friend. Well, two more friends than LDG, but you know, because you have me and Jason. But
oh, thanks. I thought you were talking about my left and my right hand. You're a good man. Thank you.
No. Anyway, so Starbuck is upset because she has to take pills. Which this is actually an interesting character moment for Starbuck.
This is. This is basically pushing her to take uppers, right? Is that
yeah,
what this is?
They're making all the pilots take stims because they're so tired. Because the last thing they need is for them to be falling asleep.
I don't know how I feel about it, because stemming is you know what stemming is, right? Because you have an autistic child as well. Stemming is like what they is the word for.
No, well, it's not stemming like when autistic kids are stimulating themselves. They're taking when they say stims, they're talking about like it'd be like they're taking
basically like caffeine and drinking a whole bunch of Red Bulls.
Yeah,
to stay awake.
They're taking stimulants.
Yeah.
amphetamines. And
Mountain
so,
Dew, Red Bull, we were talking about, like, I haven't had either of those in years, decades probably.
Yeah.
Is Mountain Dew still good? Have you tried the Pitch Black? Somebody said it was like grape drink or purple drink. Is that true?
well, I'm drinking Mountain Dew Summer Freeze right now, and I think it's pretty good.
Right, I know you showed me that, the blue one. Have you tried the one called Pitch Black?
I
That's
have
what
not.
It's called. It's like, okay.
But anyway, so they're forcing them to take these stimulants because if they don't, they've gone for 5 days without sleep, so that these pilots would literally just fall asleep in the cockpit. But my problem with all this is that while I think this is a good character moment for Starbuck, where she doesn't want to take drugs because she's so anti-drug. And so, and it kind of shows that Starbuck, despite the fact that she's a hot shot pilot and she'll bend the rules and stuff, but at the same time, there are certain rules she won't break. I like that about her.
I don't know enough about her character yet, but is it that, or is it that she doesn't want to be told to do drugs? She wants to do on her.
No. She doesn't do drugs. She doesn't. She
Okay.
She thinks stims are disgusting.
Okay.
I mean, she'll drink.
Yeah, she'll drink, but she'll drink
smoke,
party.
But she won't do drugs.
Yeah. Yeah,
she'll smoke
She
cigars.
has a hard
she'll
line
drink.
at drugs.
Okay.
But the interesting thing though is, or the flaw in all this is, I'm just thinking of it as a person who served in the military and how you would do it in a real world scenario is you would put half your pilots in the rack and say, you're going to sleep for the next, 4 or 5 cycles. And then you're going to swap back and forth. And even though you're going to be flying at half,
they're going to have to, that would still have to be a drug-induced sleep. I mean,
no, because they're exhausted. If you have gone for days without sleep, you could sleep through anything. And so if think about it, if you've gone for 5 days without sleep, and then I say, go lie down, you would be asleep in minutes. And even if there were sirens blaring and people walking around, you would still be asleep. Especially you. I know you. I'd be calling you 25 times and you just ignore your phone because that's what you do that just because
somebody with no military experience. I also would think that half a well-slept group of pilots would be at least as effective as a full group with no sleep.
Yeah. And so that's what I would try to do is put half your pilots to sleep, get them rested, and then swap them every few hours so that they get rest. Rather than to try and just drug them all out until they die.
So, hold up. Now that I do this, try that with sleep apnea.
I have sleep apnea too. And you can sleep with sleep apnea.
I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's what I say. I agree. Sleep is.
To be honest, putting the mask on gets me to sleep quicker, I think.
Yeah, well,
I can't. I have claustrophobia. That was the hardest. I'm so glad because when I lost all that weight, apparently cured my. Man, that was rough. I could not do the mask. It was really messing with me. Do you wear the mask or do you have the nose thing? Because they have two.
I do a full face mask. I prefer that. And I will tell you this, Tim. I understand what you're saying as far as there are times where you're really tired and you lie down and you can't sleep and that's really frustrating. But if these guys have gone for 5 days without sleep. There is nothing.
What's the Guinness Book of World Record on?
I don't know, but that's pretty darn close.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure it's.
And so after 5 days without sleep, anybody could sleep. there's no way you're gonna, you know, there's absolutely no way that they could yeah, they would be able to sleep. And Danny has abandoned us.
I'm sure he's
probably
visiting or creating a tortoise. Or
yeah, releasing the tortoise right now. Is there? It's yeah. Well, Danny missed it. But when was saying, oh, it's tortoises all the way down, and then I said, nope, it's actually in Danny's case, tortoises all the way up.
What? The joke I made was I don't even think I said tortois. I think I said
maybe
you said turtle.
I got a turtle head popping out or something.
You said you were trying to squeeze. You were trying to squeeze in a turtle, but then I said you should release the turtle, and then Jason said release the tortoise, and that's.
You know the difference between a turtle and a tortoise, Danny?
I was assuming you were setting me up for a joke, or
yeah. Well, do you know the difference?
I just said no. What's the difference?
A tortoise has feet, or a turtle is a piece of crap you were pushing out of your.
You ever watch How I Met Your Mother? You know what the difference between jam and jelly is?
I have.
I can't say this joke on Salty's channel. He'll get mad at me. But let's just say I can't. You know what? No, I'm not going to say it. If you don't know it, Google it. It's disgusting.
So LDG says the actual record is around 11 days.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then you start dying. Yeah. I'm pretty sure people probably die before.
I think you start hallucinating and just like having all sorts of bad things happen.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we're already in overtime and we're still like not even halfway through this episode.
I was going to say maybe you just push the screen
play button and just get the sucker, copyright.
No, just like drag it over.
She looks scary, but you see the little brat over her shoulder giving her some side eye. What's up with that?
That's
she's the cutest one on the show.
I mean, if you like children, I guess. But...
Children?
Wow.
She looks like a child to me. I don't know. Like that's the chick from the clip where the dude where Chief says 21. Shut up. You know?
Yeah, she's the one who tells, and she's also the one that bites the dude's ear off in Bastille Day.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't want to mess with a chick that likes to.
Listen, you need to be making babies. You should be looking for the most fertile woman possible.
Hey, man, I was fruitful. I multiplied. I got 4, what I like to call F. I won't say the word, but F trophies. And then I got a vasectomy because I don't need any more.
Yeah, the world does not need any more from you.
My trophy shelf is full. So.
But this shot, I want to say that this shot kind of shows. I love the costume design here. Look at the detail on the shoulders.
I was actually thinking that earlier in the shot a second ago, where you're talking about her not liking drugs. Like I actually dig this.
The flight suits.
Yeah.
The flight suits are really well designed. They look like flight suits. And I like if you look at Callie in the background, those look like deckhands. They look like people that would be working on they look like people that would be mechanics working on stuff. The uniforms of the officers, when you look at Adama and stuff on CIC, those look like military Class A uniforms.
Hey, why did my mom die? Did she leave? Did I miss that? Did she?
I think she's just being quiet. I don't think she said she was leaving.
She said the word bye.
Oh, maybe she did. If I didn't see it.
Anyway.
But I do think that I just want to give a quick shout out to the costume designers, because they did an incredible, basically everybody that helped create this world, the Ronald D. Moore's Battlestar Galactica, did an incredible job, because it really feels like a complete world we're looking at. It doesn't feel like we're just looking at, some costumes they pulled out of wardrobe. Everything feels like this is part of this universe.
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like this could have been part of a franchise that had been going for the last 50 years. Like when we watch Deep Space Nine, it makes sense. So when you look at those uniforms, they feel like the uniforms that came from the uniforms from TNG and all that. Even though they might have changed a bit, we recognize them as Starfleet uniforms. But with this, it feels like everything is just uniforms that have been around forever. And that's a very impressive feat. And so here we got them arguing. Now we're back to the bad situation on the planet.
Dude, yeah. I will. These Cylons. I mean, I guess they're not Cylons. Like that.
Well, they're Cylons.
That was a silence.
That is a Cylon Centurion.
Okay, those things are kind of badass. I do dig those.
Yeah,
I do wonder why they made them look so menacing. Like they didn't have to. There's nothing. There's no strategic.
Make them look like
advantage.
puppy dogs, I suppose. But
well, they're the freaking
If they
ships
painted like
look like their face. I mean, it's like
yeah.
I mean, like if they look more like what's his face from the Orville.
And LDG, they do not have Knight Rider eyes. Knight Rider has Cylon eyes. Get it right. Cylons came first. All right. Anyway,
sorry.
I do like the fact that like the Cylon's hand folds back to reveal the gun.
Mm-hmm.
So they have guns built into their arms as a utilitarian type thing. Which means that their entire forearm like stores ammunition, which means that they never run out of ammo. Compared to a human gun anyway. I think the design is actually really good. They look like something you would not want to face down with on the battlefield.
They look like KB Toy Store Terminators.
Meanwhile, back on Galactica, they realize they lost the Olympic carrier on the last jump, so they have to subtract 1,300 from the total. So it was 49 something, and now they're down to 47,972 as far as the number of colonists. That's a huge loss. I mean, think about it. That's the total, as far as they know, that is the total number of humans alive left in the universe.
Yeah. And I know it was a fake out or whatever when they talked about Earth being the.
You're really quiet right now. Did you like lean away from your mic or something?
Sorry. See, these are all running together. What was the episode where he lies to everybody about the 13th colony? Is that later, or was that?
No, that's the end of the miniseries.
That was the end of the mini. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's where he tells everybody, "Hey, there's a 13th colony called Earth, and only commanders know about it."
Does that? I mean, I guess you're not. Don't tell me. Does Earth actually pop up before the end of this show?
You just said don't tell me, and then you asked me the question.
Fair enough. Okay, never mind. Don't tell me. Yeah, don't tell me.
Yeah, don't say don't answer the question and then ask a question. That's not fair. Either ask the question or don't. That's
fair enough.
I don't mind minor spoilers, but
well, that doesn't seem like a minor one because the President Roslin, is that right? Mm-hmm. I'm getting these names. Okay, good. She's like, I know, like, she's basically like, I know you're lying. He's like, yeah, I'm lying. She's like, all right, cool. I'll keep your secret. So it would kind of be a big spoiler if you did tell me, oh, by the way, they actually do find Earth. I'd be like, okay, well, that's a You know.
Well, you do know this much, is that what they did make clear is that he's lying as far as him knowing where Earth is. What's
Yeah.
not a lie is that Earth is in the scriptures, right? That the Earth exists according to their religious beliefs, and their religious beliefs are based on ancient texts that are historical texts. They're not necessarily all just hocus pocus magic stuff. These are ancient historical documents. And so, is there an Earth out there? Well, we know for a fact there is because we're on it. Right. But they don't know that. You know, they just know that in their religious texts there are mentions of this lost tribe of humanity called Earth.
I did some math.
Uh-huh.
With 50,000 people, there should be every day births and deaths that keeping a record like that really just shouldn't be possible.
It seems like it would be very difficult, but that number does change every week.
It does, but it seems like it would be changing hourly, or at least.
All right. But then she
4
gets
times a
like
day.
daily updates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they're getting down to the 33-minute mark again. Only this time, the Cylons don't show up. Man, I love the look of that ship.
I was just about to say, yeah, that's like.
I mean, it just the new Galactica.
Strong.
It looks, that looks like a ship you do not want to f with.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Very
looking,
phallic.
I like how it gives you
Wow,
context. Like
Bird.
what?
Bird said very phallic.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it looks.
I don't see
phallic.
it. I don't either. But I like how they give us what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. Basically, I like how they have the other ships next to it, so you can actually tell how big it is. Whereas, like we were talking about, like in Picard, it was very hard to tell how big the Shrike was because we had no
Right.
frame of
But the
reference,
Galactica is
you know what I mean?
clearly huge compared to all the other ships.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. My cousin was using Google Star Map or Sky Map, was asking where's Earth. Well, and your cousin was an idiot.
Oh, somebody said, Tim, somebody said that, I don't know if it was in our private viewing on the Patreon, which, visit Salty Trek or patreon.com or whatever it is. It's in the description. Wasn't it one of you guys that made that same joke about it being Galactica was ribbed for her pleasure? It was like, you were Jason.
Yeah, I think one of us said that.
Yeah.
I think Jason said it. But we were
Ribbed
talking
for
about the fact
President
that
Rosalind's pleasure.
But we also talked
she's
about
got
the fact
cancer,
that, like,
which apparently they haven't been able to cure in the future, which is depressing. So,
why do you keep saying the future?
I
You
mean,
don't know what
clearly
the
they have to
timeline
be in the future. They got spaceships, man.
They're
Like,
not on Earth.
Fair enough. All right.
So
Yeah, it's like Star Wars is in a galaxy far in a whatever.
it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know what the time frame is. Anyway, but no, and this is something we have talked about is the fact that like the ribbing part that you see, if you look carefully, that's where the armor has been removed. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what you were telling me. And there was a shot.
Well, this is a great
one of-
shot where you can see it.
But there was another one. It was the top of the ship, and you were pointing out that like that
Well,
whole
look
thing
right,
was supposed
look
to be
right
smooth.
up here.
Yeah.
So you can see this is where the armor's been removed. This is where the armor's intact.
Because you were saying that they started because this ship was going to be decommissioned and turned into like a museum or whatever, and so they
Right. So they're
started the
taking the
project.
armor and recycling it.
Yeah.
And so that's and yet this ship can still, despite it being weakened, is still tougher than those Cylon base ships and can take nukes.
Jeez. Thanks, Tim. Thanks. Love the spoilers. Good job. I'm just kidding.
And Tim, don't put spoilers in the chat. Okay. I'm going to simply tell you that straight up. Don't do it.
Oh, that wasn't
Okay?
a real spoiler, was it? I think he was just being funny.
No,
Or if
I
it
mean,
is-
I'm
oh, yeah. Oh,
look. The time frame that they're in is not a major part of the story,
okay.
so it doesn't matter. But I'm going
Well,
to
I mean,
ask him.
like, sure, if
no
they show up to
spoilers.
Earth and it's like, George Washington is the president, that'd be weird.
Yeah. So I don't want to. I just don't. Oh yeah. Why can't they warp beam people? Somebody said LDG was saying that in the underground because I guess LDG is insane. Anyway, and there's that. There you go. There's a nice shot of the. Like you can see you can kind of get the scale there.
Yeah. Well, not even. I never noticed that. It's got the name on it right there too.
Oh yeah. The battle stars have the.
Yeah.
See, but notice no windows.
Yeah.
Like if you look in the foreground, like up in the corner where you can see the front of Colonial One, President Rosalind's ship. That ship's got windows all the way down the side. But the Battlestar has no windows on it because it's a military ship. It's designed to take nukes.
It was weird. It's like designed by a Polish person. Put a screen door on a submarine. Why would they have to have windows on a target?
Yeah.
I just think that.
And so now LDG. So LDG is like thanking Thomas for the jump transporter comment because he seems to think that there should be jump transporters. That makes no sense because of what we see. Okay, so I'll explain to you why they can't have jump transporters, LD. You want me to explain it to you because you don't pay attention to the technology on the show? Because they do show on the show, and Danny, cover your ears for a second. Actually, it's not really a spoiler, but we do know the effects of the jump drive. If you jump too close to another ship, it does massive damage to whatever you jump next to because of the distortion of time space. And so you can't contain the jump effect on someone inside a ship. It would tear the ship apart. All right. Okay, Danny.
Can I come back now?
Yes, you can come back.
All right. Sorry.
I just it's not really a spoiler, but I made a reference to another episode to explain why jump transporters are impossible.
No worries. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have been really enjoying, and actually, man, everybody's been super cool about not spoiling stuff for me. When I talk to them about it. Yeah, I'm watching Battlestar Galactica for the first time. Usually, oh man, I love that show, and not like, oh man, I can't wait till you see the, and then they start to like that hasn't happened yet. So
yeah,
cool, so.
People that's because there's such great stuff in here that people want you to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm biting my tongue on so many things.
Yeah, me too. Believe me, and Jason. Every time me and Jason are talking alone, we're like, oh man, when he sees this, he's gonna lose his mind. Oh, he's gonna go crazy when he sees, So there's some stuff that we cannot wait for you to see because we just want to talk to you about it. No,
man.
Look at poor.
This is episode where they kind
of messed up the beard.
Yeah, they shave, but then they have full fit hair in the next scene, and it's like.
Yeah. And LDG, that
if I were him though, I would.
Physics, dude. Physics. It doesn't solve the problem. Idiots.
Aldi, the only winning move is not to play.
Yeah. And and by the way, you're going to see Adama and Rosalind on the phone with each other a lot. And one thing I think is interesting, when they are talking on the phone, notice, that they look like they're talking to each other. Like they're in the same room. And
I don't know, but she's clearly crying. What happened here? Refresh my memory. Why is she crying?
Well, in this scene, they're just talking about the fact that they've got
of coffee.
Yeah, they're out of
No,
coffee. Yeah, this,
is this right after
anyway,
that ship with all the people was destroyed? Is that what this
no,
right
I
after?
don't think that the Olympic carrier has shown up yet. This is when they're talking about the fact that they have a little bit of time, and so Adama's like, we're going to take that time and use it to rest.
You put closed captioning on, no?
Huh?
If you put closed captioning on, would you?
This is on my local computer, so I don't know that the closed captioning. Yeah, well, actually, I might be able to do it. Let me see. Subtitle file. No, it's not. Windows Media Player can't do the closed captioning. I mean, if we were watching it on my Plex server, we could do it, but for some reason,
Plex
Windows Media
has
Player
the
can't. Yeah,
closed caption. But what about,
I don't understand when you rip it directly from the DVD or Plex server can see it, but Windows Media Player can't. I don't know why.
Would you use
played it on VLC or
yeah, that's what I was about
MX,
to. Yeah.
Media Player Classic.
Yeah,
Those
VLC
would be
would
better
work.
players.
Yeah.
But
You think Video Player Classic can do it?
I've been trying to find
it
it all the time.
I'll try that one.
Yeah, play with it.
Yeah, I use VLC. I think that
I tried. VLC had some kind of update, and it's like being weird now. I don't know if it's a Windows 11 thing, but it's
Stanley. Oh, I forgot I can do this. Yes. 2.5 hours later, we are still about halfway through 33.
Shut up. No, we're more than halfway through. We only got 17 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, VLC is what I usually use, or I have used up until now. But now I'm not liking VLC, at least in Windows 11, because for whatever reason, at the top bar, where you have the minimize, maximize, and close buttons, they don't exist anymore. They're just gone.
You gotta hit F11 or something.
I tried that. Nothing. And so it's just, it's just takes up full screen and you can't change it. And it's driving me crazy. I don't know if it's a Windows.
I love it.
I'm probably gonna try uninstalling it, reinstalling it, see if something got corrupted. But
if Salty goes by the book, minutes will seem like hours.
I always thought that was weird. By the book. I always thought that was weird when they basically.
I always thought it was weird that
they tell them
figure that out.
I know, right? I was like, they basically
was like an idiot in that scene.
Yeah.
Well, what are they talking about? I don't know. It's like
minutes would seem like hours.
We can fix the engine in 3 days.
By the book.
So they're gonna just chill, and then they're gonna have a drug-induced cap, with Apollo in his Mark 7, and then Starbuck and Boomer and Hot Dog backing him up. And
Hot Dog was
or no, not Hot Dog.
Yeah, he's comes later. He was a pleasant surprise. He's one of the new
I can't
kids.
remember who that guy is, but whoever the other pilot is, the one that I think gets.
We haven't seen Hot Dog yet.
Right. The other pilot, I think, is the one that gets his 1000th landing and dies in act of contrition.
Yeah, that was.
And so they're.
That was so stupid. Like, how are they gonna? That was act of contrition where they're celebrating the dude's 1000th landing, and then one of the bombs just falls off.
It wasn't even. It was just we'll talk about that when we talk about that episode.
Yeah.
But they got lucky, because if that was a bomb, they were even talking about that, they would have lost the whole landing bay.
Yeah.
So it was just a drone that hit them. Anyway, so it's just basically rocket fuel that got him, not an explosive. And yes, Tim, I actually already told them that Hot Dog is Edward Olmos's son. We talked about that when we were recording it. So,
Oh God, yeah.
no, it's fine. You can stare at 6 for a second.
The other shot was better. You can go on. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
well,
over. I'll just look at
Just
my
so you
desktop.
know, Baltar enrages LDG because it reminds him of Dr. Bashir. He says he's the same character as Dr. Bashir
what?
was from season 1 of Deep Space Nine.
I don't see that at all.
LDG, are you freaking insane?
He says to him they are one and the same, and he can't stand.
What, because they have
Bashir.
English accents?
I'm just letting you know. He wanted me to let you guys know that.
Okay.
He looks like him. He sounds like him.
So what you're saying
And
is
they have the same
because
mannerisms.
he's a skinny little Brit, that means he's the same guy.
I don't know.
Remember
Remember when Bashir showed up in
remember
Game
how
of
Bashir
Thrones?
betrayed them all and caused the near extinction of humanity? Oh wait, no, never mind.
ABJ, it's exactly what I said. Vaguely similar actor, completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
character.
I mean,
He's
the
definitely
funny-
similar actor, but
Yeah, I mean, vaguely similar is the right term, because they both have British accents, and that's about it. They're not even the same race. I mean,
Yeah, I mean Bashir, the actor that played Bashir, isn't he like
he's Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but whatever. But he's got an English accent.
Yeah.
I understand that they do have a similar sound and general mannerism because they have a very similar accent. But the funny thing is that if you heard Jamie Bamber, who plays Apollo, speak with his natural voice, he has the same accent as well. And by the way, Jamie Bamber is a really nice guy. I hung out with him for half a day, and he's just a really, really cool guy. Anyway, so Boomer and Racetrack are kind of hanging out, and Racetrack's like, "Dude, I'm in Force Unleashed," and Boomer's like, "Yeah, well, I'm in."
Yeah, I was about to ask, is this before Force?
This is before
Unleashed?
Force Unleashed.
Okay. Yeah.
And so then, meanwhile, the president is talking, and Baltar is like, now, and this is where Baltar shines, is that he is the king, and you're going to love this as the series goes on. Baltar is the king of preserving Baltar. And so he can do anything to get himself out of any situation, and you will be amazed at the situations he gets himself out of. And that's just like that. That's the entire extent of his character, and it's so entertaining every time he does it. I mean, even when you see it coming a mile away, you're like, "Oh, there's no way this time," and then he does it, and then you're like, "Okay, he can't do it this time," and then he does it, and you're like, "Okay." This time, they know exactly what kind of a guy he is. So there's absolutely no way he's going to, and then he does it again. And you're like,
a little bit, little bit of a spoiler there.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's so entertaining to watch. It doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Danny's talking elsewhere.
No, I was just talking to my kid for a second.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, and so apparently Almost is in charge of a SHIELD aircraft carrier. Thanks for the spoiler. But here we have Baltar basically convincing the president that despite the fact that it's a miracle that the Olympic carrier, by the way, registry 1701, for those of you that weren't paying attention, has miraculously showed back up. But he's like, yeah, we should blow that ship out of the sky because it just so happens to have a person on the ship that can ID Baltar as the person who is responsible for the destruction of all humanity.
And he talked them into killing all people. and we're already down to less than 50,000 humans left. You know, so.
Yeah. But the beauty of it is that this is how good he is at it, because they just said over the wireless that they've got information of a traitor. And Baltar's like, wait, we got to kill him. You know, it's like they just said there's a traitor, and then you freak out and say we need to shut them up. You know, red flag, anybody?
Right. Why it's not working? I'm trying, but it's not working.
Your internet is breaking up again. Did you click on something again? And he died. He died it.
I think he's been watching porn.
I think so too. I think he's probably watching like fanfic porn that involves six a lot. Thomas says you're the traitor, Bird.
I'm not a traitor. Everyone else is the traitor.
Did you give the Cylons the defense codes?
If I did, it was for all the good, right reasons.
What right reason could there possibly be?
Just look at us. We're a failure as a species.
So you admit that you gave them the codes?
Just saying that Cylons.
There you go,
like
Danny. You added yourself back to the show.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it did that thing again where StreamYard said my internet was too slow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to call T-Mobile and complain. I hate doing that, but I don't like to be a Karen, but sometimes you got to be.
That's not being a Karen. Being a Karen is complaining when you don't have a reason. Okay. If you have a reason, like, hey, I'm paying you big money for this internet so that I can live stream, and I can't live stream, that's not being a Karen. Okay. Being a Karen would be, hey, I'm paying you for this internet that works great, but I want it to work even better. That's being a Karen. Or I want you to, you know, give me, you know, more internet than what you offer me for less money. You know, and as a person who was a supervisor in customer service, I get calls all the time, or I did get calls all the time where people would say, yeah, I know your plan is $150 a month for this, but I want to pay $50 a month and get more. And it's like, well, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I really can't. I mean, I guess I could complain, but I'm only paying $35 a month, you know. And when I first got the service, it was really good. I just think that too many people are using it now. You know, I liked it better. It was kind of like a secret almost. You know?
I like Visible Wireless. It's $25 a month on the Verizon network, which is the best network.
I would have to agree with Bert on that. As far as wireless networks, Verizon is the most solid. But I mean, I'm not trying to diss T-Mobile, but you know, they're in last place for a reason.
Are they really? I thought they were. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
T-Mobile has been in last place of the cellular wars forever.
You know, I've had T-Mobile for 10 years now, and I've only recently.
You've been in last place for 10 years.
Yeah, they've been in last place the whole time. Yeah. Well, have you lived in Vegas the whole time?
Yeah, I've been here for.
That's why you didn't realize it.
Yeah, going on 14 years. I didn't get T-Mobile. When I moved here, I had AT&T, and then I switched to T-Mobile because of some special that was going on at the time, and I've just stuck with them ever since.
Anyway, so Baltar convinces them that they should probably do something about the Olympic carrier. So they send the Cap to intercept the Olympic carrier, and then they order him to stop the Olympic carrier. And
dude,
you know,
Lee has this is where he's like, he has this crisis of conscience, you know, like where he can't seem to forgive himself for destroying this ship that he's about to do.
Right, later on he's really struggling with it.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is going to shape Lee's character for the rest of the series. This is something that we're going to see him deal with for a long, long time.
I think so, Aravic. I know
You
Sprint
can
bought
click on
out
his comments so
Nextel.
that people can see his comment rather than just, don't forget to do that.
There you go.
Yeah,
I know
Sprint and T-Mobile merged.
they did, yeah. And before that, Sprint bought out Nextel because I had Nextel for a little bit.
Yeah, Nextel. Yeah, Nextel was actually, I liked Nextel. I had Nextel for a while. When I worked for AT&T Broadband before they got merged into Comcast, and we used Nextel phones, and the two-way radio feature, man, I loved it.
I did too. Actually,
yeah, I liked it so much that even though I had one for work, I actually got one for my wife, and then programmed my work one so that I could two-way radio my wife with it. And yeah, I loved it. I wish that those phones still existed. I absolutely love the two-way radio feature. The hey, what's going on? Yeah. Oh man, that was so cool. The only thing that could make it better is if they made one that looked like a Starfleet communicator, and you could flip it open and have it make that Starfleet communicator sound instead of have it make it that sound. And so when you squeeze the button, the other person goes the doot doot. That would have been awesome. Anyway, another thing. Again, I know I've talked about this before, but look at all the knobs and buttons and switches. This is in the cockpit and this is the cockpit of the Mark 7, not the Mark 2. So this is the advanced Viper. Tech is, manual controls.
And then we talked about this on one of the streams or watch-alongs, like very TOS feeling. I like that, the buttons and switches and levers and stuff. Yeah.
So then Hilo meets up with another 6 on Caprica, and who immediately gets shot, and then he meets Boomer.
This scene kind of.
So he meets another Boomer.
To get killed like that so fast, but I guess
that
doesn't matter because there's so many of her.
Well, remember, with each of these Cylon, we know there's 12 Cylon models, and with each of them, there are literally thousands of them. So, I mean, there's, there's virtually an unlimited supply of Boomers and 6s and Dorals and so and all the others that we'll get to know.
I tell you what,
never
mind. I'll keep it to myself.
And yeah, Thomas, I actually had one of those Starfleet Bluetooth communicators. I don't know where it is, but it's not bad.
Are you talking about the ComBadge one?
No, it's actually like the original series replica communicator.
Okay.
And
I always thought it'd be cool. I'm sure they've made it.
It's Bluetooth, so it connects to your smartphone. And so it's a cool little. Let me see. I'm bringing it up here so you can see it on the screen there.
Oh,
hopefully, can you see that?
Yeah.
And it does. You can pull it off of the stand, and it works just like the real thing. So when your phone rings, you can answer your phone by flipping that open.
Have they ever made the TNG like one where you can just like a Bluetooth?
I don't think so.
Oh, that would be cool.
So I don't know whatever happened to it. I got that, and I actually really liked it because it's weighty. It feels and looks like the real thing. The buttons on here, honestly, they only do 2 things. And that is answer and disconnect call. But It's absolutely and so basically, if you get a call on your smartphone, instead of answering it on your smartphone, you flip that open and hit the button, and that becomes a speakerphone. So, and you can see it says last purchased May 7th, 2017. So yeah. But I wish I knew what happened to the stupid thing. I'm sure it's probably upstairs somewhere. Let's see all buying options. So it looks like, oh, wow, you can get one used for $549.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They have it right there. Scroll back up. The one I was just asking about. Yeah,
Oh,
Star
what
Trek
does?
Next Generation Bluetooth communicator badge. That's cool. Anyway. So, back to the episode.
Yeah, sorry. All right, but I'm not a TNG guy, so you know.
Yeah.
All right, so Boomer shows up and kills 6. Meanwhile, Adama and Adama have their little conversation about whether or not they should feel guilty about what they did. And Adama the Elder says, we don't have the luxury of basically worrying about it. We let the historians worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, we just make the decision we have to make for survival. And then we'll let the people, 100 years from now decide whether or not it was the right thing to do. And I think that's the military man in Commander Adama. That's the pragmatic military ideal, is that you don't want to sit there and overanalyze every decision you make. You simply make the decision that has to be made.
Hey,
All right. What do you think about that, Bird?
Yeah, it's solid reasoning.
But do you think that that's because, like, here's where I think a lot of people go with that is they, like, in the modern day, they think that kind of reasoning is wrong and outdated.
Well, I mean, I acknowledge a lot of people probably think that, but I don't personally.
Well, I don't either, but I think a lot of people don't understand the military either.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But
we're right at the end of the episode, so
no, I don't know. I don't think it's happened yet in the series, but since Dork's not here, where Adama talks to Rosalind about why the military are different than the police.
Yeah, that's a couple episodes down the line.
Yeah,
which Danny has seen,
okay.
But yeah, I get what you're talking about. But yeah, we don't want the military to become the police, and at the same time,
in a case like this,
yeah,
they don't really have any options.
Right, but the military, you don't want the military to become soft either.
No, you don't, and considering we're talking about the last 47,000 humans in existence, I'm not so worried about following the Constitution. As much as I'm a constitutionalist at heart, I think that when you get down to less than 50,000 people, things change.
Why is your mom talking about crap?
I think that's code.
Is that code for something?
I don't know. I don't remember talking about poop.
Well, I mean, we did talk about stopping the tortoise earlier. Maybe she's behind.
Hours ago. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. She could be. She went to church. Sometimes she Mom, hit refresh.
That means that she's hearing all the Jew talk. You're in trouble now. Of course, me just mentioning that probably puts you in trouble. And and now she's sending hugs to Lord Thoth. So is she in the same chat as everybody else?
Oh, I think she's in mine. On my
channel. But I'm looking at both because I'm looking in StreamYards. Did Lord Thoth post anything recently?
No, but again, she's probably behind.
Yeah. She turned off when we were talking about turtles. Yeah. Well, blame your son for that. He likes talking about squeezing turtles.
What? Poppycock.
So Stanley says likes how Rosalind sort of almost starts to think that maybe she is the best person to be in charge right now, at least until things calm down. But Rosalind also understands that there are military decisions that need to be handled by Adama. However, there are times, and of course we'll see that from time to time throughout the show, that she strongly disagrees with Adama. And I love the fact that this is Ronald D. Moore's take on how Voyager should have been done. Like this entire series is his version of Voyager. And
I definitely see that. You brought that up. You bring it up quite a bit as far as like the relationship between Adama and Rosalind, being like Chakotay and Janeway.
Yeah. It's kind of sad to me that we could have had this in the Star Trek universe. Oh, and we lost Danny again, it looks like. Either that or Danny's caught in a time warp.
This is a pretty dark show for the Star Trek universe.
But the one thing that I've said as far as doing Star Trek dark is that what makes Star Trek light, as far as light versus dark, as far as thematically, is the Federation itself. The only way to make Star Trek dark is to take out the Federation. The only way to take out the Federation is to take a starship and isolate it from the Federation, and that's what Voyager was all about. And so Voyager was your one and only opportunity to make a good dark Star Trek show. And they blew it. Now, it doesn't mean that every character should be dark. Your Starfleet captain should still uphold Starfleet ideals, but you should have other people who should not. And I think it would be more interesting if, and wait for Danny, there we go. I think it would have been more interesting if the commander of Voyager ended up being the Maquis commander, or if it even ended up being, if Voyager ended up being the Maquis ship, if we ended up being the opposite of what Voyager really was rather than being, a Starfleet ship with a few new crew members that, have to adjust to being Starfleet, is what if we had a Maquis ship with a crew of Starfleet people trying to deal with being on a Maquis ship, trying to find their way home, trying to work with these people. And a Starfleet captain trying to deal with being, starting to deal with being subordinate to a Maquis captain, rather than the other way around. Exactly, Arabic. I think that, and this was a big problem Ronald D. Moore had with the show. The Maquis assimilated back into Starfleet way too easily and too quickly. There was a little bit of conflict for a couple of episodes at the beginning of the series. And then again in Scorpion, I think Scorpion was actually done pretty well. The conflict between Chakotay and Janeway and Scorpion was really good. But other than that, it was almost non-existent. You know, it was just every now and then they would disagree. And that's the worst thing to me about Voyager. In this show, while we see an evolution of Adama and Rosalind becoming closer in their personal relationship throughout the 4 years of the show, we also see them never compromising their beliefs and disagreeing constantly throughout the 4 years.
Okay, so does her cancer get cured? Because, you know, when my grandpa got diagnosed
Do you want me to answer that?
Well, I mean, he was dead inside 6 months, and you just said she's in the show for all 4 seasons. So
I did not say that.
It kind of sounded like you said that. You said over the.
Anyway. I did not say that.
Okay, sorry.
You might have implied that, but I didn't say that.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So, and because the honest answer that I could only give you would be yes and no. Has she seen the doctor yet, Stanley? Not in this episode, but you know, Danny has seen Dr. Coddle. Everybody's favorite doctor. Where she's like, "Do you mind when he lights up a cigarette?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I love Dr. Coddle. And he is the best. So, 33, Bird. What's your opinion of 33 as a whole?
It's a solid round number of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's a very good episode. I mean, I really enjoyed the entire series. This was solid. I hard to grade a single episode.
That's my problem. I know grading an individual episode is tough. But
I'd put it as a solid B.
Okay.
B plus.
So Bird gives it a B plus out of 10. How about you, Danny? What's your final score?
Well, I've been enjoying everything so far, and I'd have to say
this is the first episode. You can't base this on what you saw after it.
Yeah, no, I know. This was really solid. I liked it a lot. Like it was. I mean, way better than Encounter at Farpoint as far as like a first episode. So,
well, yeah,
there's that.
But remember, this would be more like the Naked Now because the miniseries would be
because
like
the mini, yeah. So, but the miniseries was good. It was really, I liked it a lot. No, I'm enjoying this ride, man. I can't. I don't know if I had to give it a 7.5, 8, maybe if I had to give if I had to give this single episode a score. But I've been enjoying, like literally up until episode 6, I was saying, "Oh, this is my favorite episode." Every time it was coming out, we were watching them. So I'm looking forward to. Are we going to watch again on Saturday, or we got to wait for Jason?
No, because remember, Danny's out of town for a couple
Jason's out of town.
Yeah, you're not out of town. Jason's out of town.
Wow.
I know. I've been doing that a lot lately. That's why I take my brain pills, but I still get confused a lot. It's part of the MS thing. But so I agree. If I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I can understand why this is a lot of people's favorite episode, but for me, I can't pick a favorite episode because to me, the entire series is just something you have to watch in its entirety.
We were talking about this is back. They did this before the Netflix model. I mean, like you can't. It's completely serialized.
Netflix existed, but at this time, Netflix was just TV shows that were like recycled from old TV shows. and movies that they would get from the movie.
Right. Well,
that
what
would
I mean is like this is
Netflix is not about original content and stuff
yeah.
yet.
But my
There was
point
no
about
streaming yet, was there?
right. My point about this was though, this is like it's hard to like look at each episode individually because it's a part of a whole. It's not like watching TNG or whatever,
Right.
where I could sit down and watch, episode 16 of season 4 and not be lost because I haven't seen whatever took place before.
Right.
Whereas with this, you like would totally, be lost. So.
Right. Unless you've watched the entire series,
Yeah.
you're like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of episodes that I go to, and you'll understand why when we get to them, that that I enjoy watching just because they are so ridiculously fun. And so I might watch them a little more than the rest of the series. But generally with this series, I watch the whole series through. I don't watch an episode, but with those couple of episodes, the only reason I can watch them is because I've watched the whole series several times. But yeah, you can't. This is definitely a show you have to watch the whole show. You can't just pick an episode and watch it and say, this is the show to start with. You got to start with the miniseries and work your way through it. And it's absolutely worth your time to do that. If you don't, man, you don't know what you're missing. Some of the best writing in sci-fi history. And, despite the fact that it's 20 years old, decent visual effects. And, despite the fact that it's 20 years old, it's still, it holds up today as far as tone. It doesn't feel hokey. It doesn't feel stupid or silly. It absolutely holds up.
And Aravic, there are 4 seasons. There's the mini series, and then there are 4 seasons. Correct?
Right.
Mike?
And then there's a couple of mini movies that go along with it. There's Razor, which takes place in between season 3 and 4. There's The Plan, which takes place during the entire series, but it's kind of you watch The Plan after you're done with the series as a whole. And then there's Blood and Chrome, which is a prequel. And LDG, no spoilers. Don't look at the chat, please.
What? Okay.
Danny.
All right.
Yeah. My goodness, LD, that was a huge spoiler. Please, mods, remove that one from the chat.
Yeah.
Or LD, remove that from the chat. Do not put that kind of thing in there.
Appreciate you looking out for me,
see.
man. And I'm glad I happened to be looking at my phone.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Come on.
Is it safe to look at the screen?
I'm trying to see if let's see, is it off of there now? I think it's off there. Yeah,
It's going to be on the StreamYard.
yeah.
There's no way to erase it.
Right, in StreamYard you can't get rid of it, but it's.
Okay. Well, that's fine then. I just switched to our private chat in StreamYard. No biggie.
Yeah.
And we're about at the end though.
And LD, look, not every throwing out the names of guest stars can be a spoiler, or if it's someone that you know who it is. You know what I mean? It would be like if I said that, for example, someone who's not on the show. If I said, "Boy, when William Shatner shows up, it's mind blowing," right? That would be a massive spoiler to find out that he's a major character in the show. And so I wouldn't want to ruin that for him because it's a big surprise.
Yeah, they already got mad at me because I stumbled upon the fact that Rolaren is going to show up at some point in time. Obviously not the character, but the actress, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. So and so that one that you mentioned is one that he doesn't know about, and when that character shows up, that's a great moment in the show. Not just because it's that actor, but that character is such a great character. Yeah, Thomas Luke, who's back. LD, you are the king of spoilers. Yeah, you know about Luke, who's back, right?
No. What's the Luke?
When Luke Skywalker showed up in the last episode of Mandalorian season 2,
yeah,
LD put up a live stream right when it happened. His live stream was titled "Luke Who's Back."
That's funny. It's clever.
Oh yeah, real clever for people like me who hadn't seen it yet, and that pops up in my feed.
Hey man,
as I'm getting ready to watch Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, you know, if you any self-respecting nerd would have watched it the second it dropped, so you just got what was coming to you. You know, that's fine.
I just woke up.
Just kidding.
Hey Vader, how you doing?
Vader's here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if you're working or not. You want to come on and give your opinion of 33 before we?
They actually did a show on that.
About 33.
I watched it after we watched.
Right.
After we finished episode 6, they reviewed. They might have reviewed more, but I've watched they reviewed the miniseries and then this episode, and I've watched those. So, yeah, and I totally agree. So far, I'm loving the show. I can't believe I just now watching it for the first time. I really can't believe it.
Anyway, Vader, you want to come on for a minute and pontificate about how much you love it, or are you working? You know, you can come on and tell us about how much you love it and how much we're idiots or whatever. I personally like I was saying before, I love 33, but I wouldn't say it's one of the greatest pieces of nerd television ever made, because I would say that about the entire series. I wouldn't just narrow it down to, I don't think 33 is elevated above the rest of the series. I think 33 is a great start to a great series. That's my thing, is that no, I do like it. So
yeah, he can't join us in it. No, yeah. we
I understand if you're working or whatever, right? But yeah. you're always, just so you know, Vader, you're always welcome to join if you can, because you're fun to have on, because you're an old grumpy bastard like me. But as far as I think 33 is really good, but I think all of BSG 2003 is really good. So I can't say 33 is like the episode.
I'll be honest with you, and I'm not saying that I'm not talking shit when I say this, but the last episode that we watched, what was that called? Like something the episode 6, what was it? Battle.
You're talking episode 6 was Litmus.
Was it Litmus then?
Yeah, Litmus was the last one.
Okay, so far that's been my least favorite episode, but I'm not saying it's a bad episode.
Yeah, but that's like saying it's your least favorite piece of gold. Just like when we're talking about Discovery, which one is your favorite dog turd, right? With Battlestar Galactica, which one is your least favorite piece of gold? Right? So they're all gold. It's just which one is your least favorite, and you muted yourself.
There wasn't enough Trisha Helfer in that episode. That's what it was.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
And Arabic asked an interesting question. Do you like it better than TOS? I want you to clarify that question. Are you talking about Star Trek TOS or Battlestar Galactica TOS? Because
I'm
that's
sure he means
that's a fair
Star
point.
Trek TOS.
Well, I mean, is he though? Or they, or them, or it? I don't know. Okay, Star Trek. Okay,
yeah.
Then yeah.
Okay, so here's how I would compare it to Star Trek TOS. That's a very, very difficult question, because do I like it better than Star Trek TOS? No. However, is it a better show than Star Trek TOS? Absolutely. Pound for pound, I will say that Battlestar Galactica 2003, in my humble opinion, is the best sci-fi television show ever made. That's my opinion. That's better than Star Trek TOS, better than TNG, better than any Star Trek television series, and I love Star Trek to death. However, TOS is still my favorite show. But man, no other show is written as well, as the best balance of both character, action, the story and plot all working together, having serialization that actually works, having a satisfying ending to a 4-year saga. The whole thing, the whole package is just solid. I don't think that there's a better sci-fi television show. And some, I know that Jason argues The Expanse is a little bit better. I think this is a little bit better than The Expanse.
I think DS9 blows The Expanse away, and this not blows it away, but it's pretty close.
You think Deep Space Nine is better than this show?
Yes.
See, I disagree, because I think the combat in this show is much better than Deep Space Nine.
It's not a combat show, so it's fine.
Well, this is like Deep Space Nine. This is a war show, and the war makes more sense in this show.
DS9 is many things. The war was one of them.
Well,
DS9 wasn't totally a war show.
It became a war show after season 3.
This show doesn't have its trials and tribulations or its little green men.
Well, sure.
Yeah, we kind of talked about something like that, didn't we? About humor, Michael? Didn't we talk about how like this
is not your show if you want shows that have zany episodes. This show does not have off the wall humor. It does have some humor, but it doesn't have humor at that level. And when you get to episodes like Trials and Tribulations, well, that's a nostalgia episode, and obviously that's going to be difficult to pull off. There is some nostalgia in this because they do have some flashbacks to TOS.
We saw that you guys made a big deal out of that one actor in that last episode. It was
right.
Apollo, I think, or something.
And he is going to come back.
Okay.
He's not a one-shot, one and done kind of guest star.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, you'll be amazed at how important he is to the story. But not just him being.
So is this true? Because this is what I was talking. It feeds into what I was talking about earlier. The comment I just put on the screen by Stanley. Is this true?
There's no episodic one-offs in an episode in BSG. I wouldn't say none, but they are very few and far in between.
Yes, Vader. I am a. This is my first watch.
Yeah, he's never seen it before, and he's
never seen the original.
Yeah,
none of this.
Right. So please don't drop any spoilers.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know any of the upcoming big guest stars. He doesn't know other than who's shown up in the first 6 episodes.
Yeah, and I gotta wait until let's see. Today's the 17th.
Yeah, you gotta wait till next month before
I gotta wait till the 27th. No, the 27th, not next month. It's the last Saturday of the month. I got to wait till the 27th to watch because they don't want me to watch it without them because they want my first time.
I don't think Jason's gonna be back then.
He's not.
No, not until June.
Oh man! So June 3rd is when I get to see episode 7.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me.
Yeah, in Arabic, I highly recommend, and I'll tell you, I cannot recommend enough. Look, if you go on Amazon right now, this bad boy here is like $59, and this includes the mini series, the entire run of the series, the plan and Razor, which is everything you want except for Blood and Chrome, which is only another $10. But this is $59. It is well worth every penny. Or if you subscribe to Peacock, you can watch it with commercials.
All right. So
or no commercials if you have the no commercial Peacock plan.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm cheap. but at least I share. Okay, I only
Right.
spend the $5.
No, but I'm just saying.
But I do share.
I'm not trying to diss your account. I'm just saying, if you don't mind commercials, you can do because.
So here I'm putting.
I'm not a big fan of the fact that there are streaming services you pay for.
Oh,
and
I can't.
I
can't make a comment in StreamYard. Oh well, I'll go to the YouTube chat. Here's the link to what he's talking about, guys. So.
Oh, you got the link for the Blu-ray.
Yeah, because I'm either having a serious case of deja vu, or we have definitely done this exact same thing.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so I cannot recommend highly enough that you get it, you watch it. But one of the reasons that I recommend
links in the chat. No, you don't, Vader. Don't you have an Xbox or a PlayStation?
Yeah, if you have a PlayStation 4 or whatever, you have a Blu-ray player. But one of the reasons I highly recommend buying the Blu-ray of it is A, to have it in your collection forever, and B, to show your support for this level of sci-fi. Because you want them to know, if you spend your money on this kind of stuff, and then the people at Universal see that people are buying it today, then they're like, oh, okay, people still want this stuff.
Yeah, people. Hey, you know what? Good writing is good writing. Doesn't matter how old it is.
And you're right. Even a PlayStation 3 is a Blu-ray player. So if you got an old PlayStation 3
to that last comment you had up there, though, you got to watch the miniseries first. Don't skip that.
Don't skip the miniseries, because that's like the origin of the whole thing. So
it's like the what do they call that? The prologue book. Like, is that the word?
Yeah.
If you watch on Peacock, the miniseries is the first.
Yeah.
Is it? Cool.
It's the first couple episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
It is on Peacock.
Right.
The only thing I think Peacock is, I don't know if Peacock has Razor. I don't think it has Razor. For some reason.
Well, I put the link in the chat to that Blu-ray set, the one that you were holding up. But $63.94 on Prime. That's not bad at all.
That might be a bad idea, Thomas. We could watch Blood and Chrome while Jason's away, if Jason wouldn't mind. I'll ask him.
Oh, okay.
And because Blood and Chrome is the prequel about Adama when he was like 20.
Yeah, man, that'd be cool. Yeah,
it's basically Adama right out of flight school on his first mission.
Is it the same actor?
No.
Okay, so it's like a kid
it's
version.
It's a 20-year-old kid playing Adama. As it, like it's hot young Adama. Remember he said how he was a great pilot. So this is Adama right out of flight school, and during the first Cylon War. And so he just graduated from flight school. He's gunning to go fight the Cylons, and so this is his very first mission.
Dude, there are 21 discs in this set. I'm going down.
You're looking at the set that I have.
Yeah, 21 discs. That's crazy. And what's even crazier,
and it has Ron D. Moore's full commentary on it.
The DVD set is more expensive than the Blu-ray set. Why is that? Yeah. That's weird.
I don't know, but it's worth having.
Yeah.
And no, the miniseries came out first.
We did it again.
Yeah. The miniseries came out first, Arabic. In fact, the miniseries was a true pilot in the sense of how pilots are supposed to work, because Sci-Fi Channel commissioned Ronald D. Moore and David Eck, however you say his name, to create a Battlestar Galactica miniseries. It was basically two-hour movies that aired back-to-back on consecutive.
Oh my God! Weekends. When do I get to see Trisha in this turquoise piece? That's like.
Just relax, dude. Enough about Trisha.
Well, it's in the.
I know you're looking at the DVD covers. I know.
Sorry.
and so they commissioned them to make these two back-to-back TV movies that tell the story of the beginning of Battlestar Galactica, and that was it. That was all Sci-Fi Channel paid them to do, and they said if it's successful, maybe we'll talk about a series. Well, they did it, and it broke Sci-Fi Channel records as far as ratings. And so then they commissioned the series, and they did 4 seasons of the series and a couple of movies. So that's how we got it. Yes, Stan Lee. Funny you should mention that. Yes, we make sure that Danny sticks around for the end of the credits for every single episode. For the silly little animated things, because they're
slapped in the face or thrown out a window, run over by a car, dumb shit like that. Yeah.
Don't forget eaten by a shark.
Eaten by
just completely random stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and it gets worse. Trust me, it gets way worse. Do the movies go to theaters? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think any of the new stuff did. The original Battlestar Galactica did. Which is interesting. When the original Battlestar Galactica, when it was the 2-hour premiere, was so grandiose that Universal at the time cut it into a movie and released it in theaters in the United States and Canada, and it actually did fairly well. And
Super tip.
And Mercer, thank you so much, buddy, says, I want laser beams. Cylons with laser beams coming out of their spaceship heads. Well, sorry, you need to watch old school Battlestar Galactica for laser beams.
Oh, I was about to say, is that like those old Godzilla movies with the laser eyes?
Well, you know how in the old days, everybody, like if you look at Star Wars and stuff, everybody's firing lasers.
Yeah.
But in the new one, they're all shooting bullets. So in the old Battlestar Galactica, they shoot lasers much like Star Wars.
Okay.
And so, which we will, here's the fun, and like I said, there's some nostalgia that you'll see in this, because there will be an episode or two where we see some old school Cylons that are the old design. And I do believe they fire the old school laser beams.
What's with the spoilers, man?
Well, I'm not telling them anything about the plot. I'm just saying we'll see some old Cylons.
And there are so many different. There's Battlestar Galactica, the definitive collection. Then there's the remastered collection. Then there's the complete epic series version.
Are you talking about the classic Galactica?
I guess it is. Yeah. Yeah. The epic one, I think, is not the other two are the definitive and the remastered.
Yeah, I need to get the original Galactica. I don't have the original Galactica on Blu-ray. I need to get that. I think that's in my wish list. That if the link.
I have never seen such a detailed Amazon. Like once you scroll down past all the BS, it has like meet the characters, like pictures of everybody, little bios. It's got like complete breakdown of all the discs and clips from. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I stop being rude and read it, and I'll read it later, because there's a
in my wish list that I have in the link below. I put in the definitive collection. I think that was the one that had the most stuff in it. But there's a few things that I put in there.
Oh, thank you, Thomas. He says don't read their bios. Okay, then I won't. I'm guessing there might be spoilers then. Thank you for that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to be careful of some of that stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's
bigger than Sharknado as far as ratings. I don't know that. I think Sharknado actually came later. So I don't know.
Oh, Mercer, why would you do that to yourself? Come on, man.
You know what, Mercer? I know a lot of people hated it, but I enjoyed Quantum Mania. So, I'm not going to wish you luck. I'm just going to say enjoy.
Hey, man, I hope you like it. Nobody wants to waste money going to the movies. It's like, you want to be entertained. wasn't my thing.
But
And
where are you
and
watching?
don't
Are
even get
you
me
wa-
started
It's
on
not out on Disney
Guardians.
Plus yet, is it?
I believe it is.
What?
Yeah, Quantum
Oh,
Mania.
is it
I
out
think
on
it
Disney
is.
Plus now?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think so. I
Because
don't know.
yeah, as soon as it's out on Disney Plus, I was gonna download it so I can watch it, put it
I'll
on my
check.
server.
Only if we
Um,
had some kind of device that could instantly
yeah,
give you
Thomas says it's on Disney
answers
Plus.
to
Well,
questions.
I don't need AI. I've got Thomas Potts. See, I've got
Yes. Oh
not
wow.
AI.
Yeah, it's the
Just
very it's the very
it
first
must
thing
have
that
just
pops up.
dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it had
it
because
must
it's
have just dropped
it's,
today.
yeah,
So
now
I'll
streaming.
download it today. Nice. That's going to be high on my list of things to watch. Then let me
Really?
launch.
You liked it, huh? Was
Yeah,
it
and
worth?
you know,
It's not one that I could. It's not really rewatchable for me. Like it wasn't worth. I don't know. I mean, I saw it once.
well,
That's
that's
enough.
because you're kind
Yeah.
of a dick. But you know, that's
Wow. Okay. Wow.
well, you know, you're the kind of guy that's like, you know, you just hate Marvel because it's Marvel because it's
That's not
produced by
true.
Disney and
That's so not true. I loved the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. That's
Mhm.
the last good movie
Oh, come on. You see that? There you go. That's the
Marvel's put
last
out.
good movie they made.
Well, it really is. I mean, like, come on. Like, what movie has come out since that can hold a candle to No Way Home?
Well, I would say that was probably their best movie recently, but I also did enjoy Quantum Mania. I did enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I know you hated Guardians of the Galaxy.
My mom and I talked, and my buddy Bobby, who
Oh
called me
wait,
out
so
on
you
Twitter.
softened on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and you're
No,
not
I
going to say
have. That
the
makes not yet. Hold up. No, I haven't yet. But after talking to the two of them, I may give it another try. And if my son wants to see it, I'm not gonna. I'm not as. I'm okay. I'm not. I don't have the hard line I had when I had just super tip.
And it says, do the Orville however you call those things, pterodons remind you of BSG Vipers? Don't hate me, please. No, they don't. Because the little Orville ships just look like the big Orville ships. Because, and I'm sorry, Mercer, I'm going to be mean for a second. There's no variety in Orville. In my not on the side of the Union anyway. Every Union ship is the same ship, just a different size. And prove me wrong. And I don't mean to be a jerk about it, but I don't know. Do you disagree with me on that?
Me?
Bird?
Oh,
Either of you?
No, all
no.
the Union ships are exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
little
kind of
pterodon flyers, just a miniature
they're
version
just
of the
one
Orville.
man versions of the Orville, and the big battleships are just bigger versions of the Orville. They're just all the same ship. And that's I don't like that. I think that it would be nice if there was some variety in the ships.
Yeah, I mean,
but unfortunately, they, I guess, don't want any because variety is not the spice of life, according to the producer.
I got a question
for
you, and it's relevant, especially because we're about a quarter way into hour 3. Tomorrow, you said tomorrow we're not.
Tomorrow we're just kind of hanging out. I figure we talk about like what kind of redirect URL we might want to do and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we could argue about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. When I'm done, I'm gonna hang out with my kid when we're done. So it kind of depends. Like if he wants to watch, Guardians 3, and We go watch it tonight. It'll be fresh on my brain, so I'm cool with that.
Mm.
If not, Strange New World season 2 predictions. Yeah, we could talk about that. That's not a bad suggestion.
Yeah, see, we can talk about stuff like that. I think that with the but I do think we should we should definitely have a conversation about Guardians of the Galaxy, because since we disagree so strongly on it, it's something worth talking about.
Totally. And I do want to, whether I do or not, we can still talk about it tomorrow. But I do, after talking to Bobby and my mom, I do want to, I do want to watch it again. Like, so. Did I lose you? Am I frozen again?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry. Hey, happy belated birthday, Chief Cook. My boy turns 17 in 2 days. It's crazy. He's my youngest boy.
All right, I think that's working. Let's see.
What are you trying to do?
I was setting it to download Guardians 3.
Guardians 3. Don't you mean Quantumania? Guardians 3 is in the movie.
I mean, yeah. Oh no, that's trailer for God. That's right. That's why it's not. I was like, where is? You're right. It's why is that just saying the trailer? It shouldn't be the trailer. It should be the movie. It's because wrong movie. All right, Quantum Mania. There we go. I don't want to download the trailer for Guardians 3. Delete. Yes. All right.
Uh-oh.
Guardians Volume 3 has been deleted. All right. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania downloading. And so yesterday's Chief Cook's birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Chief Cook. And Marcia says, prove you wrong, and puts a link in. Let me see what the link.
Yeah, see, that seems, I don't know. I don't just click on random links. I don't know. So.
Mercer's links are usually pretty safe. Yeah, exactly. That looks like the frickin' Orville just squished down a little bit with a cockpit for one person.
Okay.
You proved me right. Thank you.
I know I can look at this link.
It's a safe link. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's exactly what we said. It's just a smaller, just a miniaturized version of the Orville, their ship, whatever. I don't even know what class of ship they're called, or if they even do that.
The Orville, I don't remember. It's like an exploratory class vessel, I believe.
Yeah.
And the problem with the Orville universe is kind of the opposite. And again, I'm going to pick on the Orville a little bit since you brought it up here, Mercer. I didn't bring up the Orville, just to be fair. But the Orville's problem is the opposite of Galactica. While the Galactica universe, remember we were talking about the uniforms and the designs and all that, how it feels like a very complete universe. The Orville universe to me feels very superficial, because like all the Union ships look exactly the same, all the Krill ships look exactly the same.
So with all due respect to anybody who likes Orville, because I actually loved the first 2 seasons. It's very.
And I'm sorry, Tom. You're right.
Oh yeah,
it should be vagina pit.
Whatever.
That'd be a much better term, don't you think? Everybody climb into the vagina pit and take off.
That's a
oh man!
Anywho,
that'd be great. Create a sci-fi show where that's what you call you get in the. Okay, climb into your vagina pit.
So, if I may, before it evaporates into my thought, that is, what I was trying to say is that the Orville is basically a parody of TNG that took itself too seriously, and then in the beginning it was fun, and then the last season was just propaganda, and it was a huge turnoff. So it's like, again, sadly, it's one of those things I'm just not going to revisit. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have no desire to go back and rewatch Orville at this point.
Yeah. So we're actually agreeing. So sorry, it's supposed to be nerd fights, but sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Nerd
I
agreement.
still rewatch seasons 1 and 2. I just have no desire to go to 3.
Maybe
when
I don't know if I rewatch. I might watch an like a one on, like if I. Actually, I don't even know if I would, to be honest with you. Never mind. Sorry.
Here's my problem. When I went back and rewatched season 1 and 2 of Orville, I realized how shallow the show was, and that's my problem.
I think it's
after
like
watching
less entertaining the second watch.
Yeah.
Instead,
There's nothing shallow about the first 2
I
seasons.
disagree
don't.
wholeheartedly. If
I
you
think you
realize,
just-
especially after watching season 3,
You got angry over season 3.
now go
you're
back and
letting it
rewatch
affect
season
you.
1 and 2, and you will realize that the politics of season 3 are there in season 1 and 2. We were just so excited that it looked so much better and so much more like Star Trek than Discovery, that
that's really what it was, because it came out
that
at the
we
same
didn't realize
time.
what a bad show it really was.
Yeah,
It's not
I would-
by
I-
any means a bad show.
Rewatch it, dude.
Mom, we already
Especially-
finished talking about Battlestar. This is like
we
overtime
finished the episode.
extra. Yeah,
this is
Mike and I
bonus
gave it
time.
an 8 out of 10. I
I-
don't remember. He
I
gave
don't
it
know
an
how
8 plus.
you can
Bird gave it a B.
extol the virtues of Strange New Worlds and yet tell me that
Strange New
Well, see,
Worlds is better.
Orville is a bad show at the same.
Mike
out of the
Salty
same
and I
mouth.
don't. Now that's something we don't exactly agree on. Like I think he likes Strange New Worlds a lot more than I do. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just
Because
think
Strange New Worlds
he likes it a
doesn't-
lot more than I do.
Yeah. Strange New Worlds doesn't preach at you at the level that Orville does.
Oh my God. Strange New World doesn't preach at you?
No, it does not. Strange New Worlds does not preach at you. Orville absolutely does. Orville goes so far as to say flat out that religion leads to basically
look at-
stupidity, and that that in order to become a spacefaring race, you have to cast off religion.
Dude,
Krill are spacefaring race.
Right, they're
They
the
didn't
exception.
cast off.
They are the
religion.
one exception in the whole universe, and the Krill are treated like a giant
oh,
joke.
you mean the guys that prayed to the Avis car rental
Yeah, they
place?
pray to Avis, and their religious ceremony is to cut the head off of someone. And
Yeah, they're not very
and-
subtle with their messaging. I mean, they even had that one episode where the whole world was like ran by social media likes and dislikes or whatever. Like remember
That was an awesome episode.
why do you think so?
yeah, dude. I mean, I'm not here to shit on your salad. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying that if you don't.
Why
enjoy
does season 3 existing make a show like Majority Rule, which you thought was great when it first came out, a terrible episode now?
Again, I already explained it. The reason that I enjoyed season 1 and 2 the first time around was because we were like
having
abused
deja
children
vu.
watching
It came-
Discovery.
Yeah. Well, no, it came out the exact same time as Discovery.
Right.
That was the other thing. They came out like
Right after
So
Discovery came out. So,
it was a head to. It was there was an overlap. There
Often
was
they
some
came
head-to-head.
out on the same night.
Yeah, yeah,
Did they
Right,
come out at the
Orville and
exact same
Discovery.
time?
yeah. So it was
Man,
very.
yeah,
Well,
they
yeah,
were
but
both
Discovery
Thursday
was
night.
absolute garbage, and was the
And
opposite.
so yeah,
of
we were
Star Trek
just
every
so.
way.
I mean, it's kind of crappy to say this, but we were just like, we were just What you were about to say it, Mike?
Shell
You just-
shock.
Well, no, it's like the thing, like we were like an abused child or whatever you were saying. I mean, that's basically what he's right. I mean, we just, if you go back and watch it now, it really, I just don't think it holds up. I mean, I think that basically because what season 3 did is it kind of, they really just jerked the curtain off. And so you got to see how, like, what they really thought. Not necessarily seeing how the sausage was made, but what their agenda was. Because that season 3, I'm sorry, it was an agenda-driven season of television. Like it was propaganda by the definition of propaganda. And if you go after watching that, you go back and rewatch the episodes prior. All of that messaging is there. It had to be way more subtle because
Well,
they
fine. It
want.
was subtle, or it was. I would say
Yeah, but
that it had a. You had a
Well, I don't
fair
think
amount
subtle
of
messaging is good messaging.
I don't either. Like, I think it's
I would
worse
say that it had.
actually. 'Cause it fools
You
you.
had
It tricks you.
you had both sides to a point.
Really, tell me any episode of Orville that shows you a positive message on the conservative side of anything.
Well, About a Girl had legit, legit
That's the one, the sex
debate as
change
to
episode, right? With
as to why not
Really?
to
Why not to
why
have
to well see, it's different because
why
it was
not
a
to allow
conservative.
parental rights?
no.
Why,
Before you guys get into that, because I got to go. I'm going to get some more ice. I'll let you. I'm going to plant this seed.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
The About a Girl, that description I gave, that's just, it's just ridiculous. I mean, just think about what I said out loud. Oh, you mean the episode about the sex change, with the girl or whatever? Why is that in my science fiction? First of all, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting a drink. I'll be right back.
Because it's a planet of all males.
right.
That's
Which,
the
by the way,
sci-fi.
is by definition ludicrous. It's by definition
Well,
asinine.
it's a single gender species. To say that they're all male is
Except
kind
that
of
they're not a
ridiculous.
single gender species. We find out later on, which means
Well,
that they
it
couldn't
was-
possibly reproduce.
No,
There's an entire planet of female mocklins. And so
an entire planet. It's a small colony.
oh well,
that
okay,
happens to be
a
on
small
a planet.
colony of female mocklins, but that means that it's not just an occasional baby.
Okay, but it states 5,000 out of 5 billion instead.
Yeah,
of
because
500.
99.9% of the females are forced into sexual reassignment surgery. Right? Because
I have my head
what they're
canon.
showing is the mocklins. Here's the irony of it: the mocklins are an entire species of gay male characters who are also ultra conservative and therefore evil. And you're seeing, and you're not seeing this.
So then you're saying they're showing gay men as evil. Well, that
No, I'm saying
that's
the
not
irony
a,
of it is that they're showing,
progressive.
they're making a hyper masculine culture evil. That's what they did with the Mocklins. They turned it into pure masculine, a patriarchy of patriarchies where they eliminated femininity from their culture completely because they made it a gay culture, but a gay culture without feminine males, which is what we typically see in the gay culture of the Western world today. And so with this gay culture, with a hyper masculine gay culture, it became pure evil because it's all masculine. And so the whole point of the Mocklins is that masculinity is bad. And so what do? The first sign of femininity, we eliminate it through surgery and hormones and all that. And so they eliminate it through oppression, which, by the way, is exactly what the left believes that conservatives want. They believe that conservatives want to oppress, people who are LGBT and all that. They really believe that's what conservatives want, is to oppress. And so they just flipped it on its lid by making it so that this masculine community doesn't have women, and instead, but at the same time, their species is a two-gendered species. So how do they reproduce? Because there are female Mocklins. How do they reproduce? How is it? And by the way, if Borta or is that his name? What's his name?
Bortus is the
Bortus
is
is the
the
first officer.
Mocklin officer.
Right. So if
And
he had sexual reassignment surgery, right?
No,
Or was it-
Biden.
Clyden. Okay. Well, if Clyden had sexual,
yeah.
So if Clyden had sexual reassignment surgery, how the hell did they have a kid?
Well, I mean, don't they
obviously in
lay
future,
eggs? I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
but wait, we know. I mean, anybody who has sexual reassignment surgery is sterile.
well,
that is a
in
fact.
2023
You can't
America.
just chop off someone's genitals.
In the future, maybe they're not sterile.
But you know what? Two dicks can't produce a kid.
Well,
Whoa.
his species doesn't reproduce that way.
You know what? But his species then doesn't make any sense because there are females.
Well, guess what? His species doesn't make any sense. It's sci-fi.
Right. No, just saying
the trills don't make any sense.
Wave it away. It makes no sense. His species is nonsensical. And that's
Assalamu alaikum,
don't
guys.
make any sense.
No. You don't get to leave that easy.
No. I mean, if you guys want to keep talking, I mean, it's 3.5 hours. I have zero interest in this conversation. Like, I don't even wanna, sorry.
And yes, Penny points out that there are animals on Earth that can switch sexes.
Yes, but Mocklins don't switch sexes on their own. They are forced to. You don't take a fish and cut its genitals off and switch it.
But maybe Mocklins are born with both genitals.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You still need the sex switching fish still require both genders to reproduce. See my point?
No, I don't. They lay eggs.
Yes. Females lay eggs, not males.
Well, maybe Mocklin males lay eggs. Obviously, they do.
Then what do the females do?
Aren't there like?
I don't think the females. They probably
isn't
lay
it called
eggs
like?
too.
Don't we have like asexual species on this planet that like where they can just like they can lay eggs and reproduce and they just do it on their own? Isn't that a thing? That's a thing, right?
I don't know about multi-celled.
Yeah, not on the macroscopic level that I know of. I don't think there are asexual large scale creatures. And that's the problem. The Mocklins are a nonsensical race. And
Chief wants to
I
join
want
you.
my sci-fi to make sense.
He can slide.
It's just like with the quantum drive, with the fact that every ship looks the same. They treat every the krill are all a joke.
Okay, I get it. You hate the Orville.
I don't hate it. I just I see right through it. That's the problem.
It's
and you don't.
now. So like that's the thing.
No,
is like
I
have. They're on the Salty Nerd channel. I reviewed. Hell, I think. Did you review any of them with me? I think you did too, right?
No, I never reviewed Orville with you guys.
Orville season 3. You weren't with us. Okay. So and in real time, I mean, we reviewed them. We reviewed all of the show, and we loved the seasons 1 and 2. But I think it goes back to the whole like we were just starved for some Star Trek that we could, basically it felt like TNG. It really did. It just was cool. It was nice to have that, and Discovery was just so terrible. And then when you could see like our deflation as season 3 went on, and then we were just hate watching it by the end of it. Like I remember there was that one episode where it was clearly a Trump allegory. Like it clearly. Do you know the one? You remember the one I'm talking about with the chick that was like the dictator or whatever? She
ran on. It was a big surprise that she won the presidency.
That was a clear allegory for Trump, and I just don't need that, man. Like I'd rather you be like what you kind of teased in the beginning. That was supposed to be Family Guy in space. Where are my dick and fart jokes?
Right. It was,
That's what they teased, but that's not what they delivered,
No, not at all.
which
Yeah,
I was
no, they
happy
tried to
with.
do something. That's why I said it was basically a parody that took itself way too seriously, and that's the nicest thing I could say about it.
but
was a
it
Star Trek
did
parody that took itself
deliver
way too seriously.
humor in the first two seasons.
It did.
And I think
It did.
that's what was different, is that in season 1 and 2, while yes, the propaganda was there and the politics were there, and I did find it annoying, it was still, the characters were so endearing and the humor was genuinely funny, so I didn't care. But in season 3, they said, hey, let's double down on the politics and get rid of the humor. And so it's like, okay, so you're going to get rid of everything I like about the show and double down on everything I don't like about the show. Well, now that you've done that, I go back and rewatch season 1 and 2, and I realize, holy crap, this whole show is just propaganda. And then you start listening to Seth MacFarlane talk, and you realize, oh, that was his job. That was his plan all along. Never mind, I'm out. You know?
Yeah, and then you don't want to ever want to make your audience
a big Hollywood liberal.
Yeah,
Not particularly surprised.
But then you have other Hollywood liberals like Ronald D. Moore, who have the ability to write balanced science fiction.
Oh, look at this. We're bringing it
Galactica.
full circle. Battlestar Galactica. You see that?
Right.
Hey, Chief, I don't know if you see. Chief's asking if he can.
Yeah, I told him that if we, depending on how it goes, we may open up the panel tomorrow, but not today.
Oh,
because
not today. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
But the thing about it is that in BSG, Ronald D. Moore purposely tries to show both sides of an issue and not have the show take sides, even though he said this, if you listen to his commentaries, he's the first to admit he's a crazy Hollywood liberal. He is absolutely the first to admit that. But at the same time, he's not going to make his show reflect that. And that is brilliant storytelling. That's how you do it. If you know what your bias is, and then you purposely keep that bias out of your storytelling, you're going to have a much better story. Does that make sense? Because with unfortunately, and where I think Orville, what really bugs me about Orville, it's not just where, hey, let's take some concepts of politics from modern day and put them into some kind of allegory. No, they just straight up, hey, let's just take Trump and put him in space.
Yeah,
They don't even bother with the allegory part. They just straight up, hey, let's just cast this chick as Trump, and they don't even try to make it an allegory.
So I want you to see, my mother is dropping knowledge on us.
Worms and sea stars are asexual. Yeah, but we're talking about, like,
she says also bees and wasps. So just
bees and wasps are not asexual.
Uh-oh. He's calling you out, Mom.
Yeah.
Gauntlet's been thrown down. You're wrong, Penny.
Queen bees are female. Worker bees are male. What's that, Joshua?
Even trees have gender.
I thought it was that worker bees are female and drones are male.
Oh, maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
My son knows more about bees than I do. So there you go. Worker bees are female. Drones are male.
Listen, guys.
Dude,
I enjoyed being up here, but
that's
So
crazy.
my son dropping knowledge on Penny. Bam.
Yeah.
Boom.
No.
All right. So with that,
your
we're
son
gonna
has
wrap.
the exact same cadence as my son. Like, by the way, it was cool.
Well, they're both. Yeah. They're both autistic.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but I don't.
Danny's son is autistic as well. Just kind of fun. So with that,
That'd be like me saying all autistic people sound alike. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying,
but there are certain similarities in the way that they process
the cadence is very similar to my son's. That's cool. It was. I just
anyway. So with that, you want to say bye to everybody, Joshua?
Bye.
All right, and
my face is very blurry, but
yeah, there you can see him now.
There you go. Hey, there he is. Yeah.
So with that, remember, you are the salt of the earth. Bird is still wrong. Danny and I agree for once. Battlestar Galactica still the best written sci-fi show of all time, and I am the salty trekker. And T'Pring is just completely spazzing out because Josh was in the room. And so remember that super chats make Danny happy if you put the word hug in them.